try last week when the weather got us, but we got some incredibly good weather this morning, and looking forward to having a really good morning with regards to captures of birds and all that. I think we're going to have a great morning. We've got the nets already out and set. They're furled up and they're going to be opened up here in just a minute. We're going to go out and show you all that. So basically this morning, throughout the morning, we're going to be showing you how we catch birds, the techniques, the equipment that we use, and why we catch birds. We'll talk about that too. We are in the middle of fall migration right now, and we're definitely hoping to see a lot of birds today. We'll see what happens. It's luck of the draw. It's all about happenstance and whether the bird flies through and hits the net or not. So I'm going to kind of go outside and introduce everybody, and then I think we're about getting ready to go out and start putting the nets up. So if y'all follow me, we are wearing masks this morning. I'm not doing the live part so that you can see my lips and maybe hear a little bit better what I'm saying and maybe interpret my hillbilly brogue. I don't know. It'd be helpful maybe to have that. But I may put the mask on from time to time if I'm up close to folks, because what we're doing today is very close proximity stuff, especially when we're down working with the birds. Our faces and heads are down with each other a little bit closely. So I'm going to step outside here and introduce everybody. Hey guys, let me step out here.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I'm gonna shine a light in there.
Yeah, there we go. This is our crew. We have Angie Langevin here, who is our conservation director, and we have, let me turn the camera, shine the light, Elliot. There he is.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. There's Elliot Burrs. He is our access director. And over here we have Rob Ritchie, who is one of our longtime volunteers who helps us with conservation efforts. And then over here we have Juan Sandoval, who is our field technician and also our information and technology guru, who's going to be working with us on the live feed today. Let me turn the camera back around. I'm going to put my mask on since we are out here close. Actually, I'll walk back inside. Again, this is a live event, so bear with us if we run into problems. Just hang in there. Juan is very capable, and I know he'll pull us back. If we run into problems, it's going to be because of me. It ain't going to be because of Juan. I can tell you that right now. I'm going to do the best I can with the equipment and the best I can with following the instructions for Juan. But we're going to go, let me see just a second. Are we about ready to go unfurl the nets?
Yeah, I think we go in 2 minutes, 7:05.
In 2 minutes, we're going to be unfurling the nets. Okay, so to explain what we mean by unfurl the nets, the nets that we're using to catch these birds are called mist nets, M-I-S-T. And the reason they're called mist nets is because they're about as fine as mist is in the air. They're very dark and black colored nets that are about 9 meters long, which in feet is about 27 feet, somewhere around in there, and about 3 meters tall, which is about 9 feet tall. I guess the best way I could describe them is they're very similar to the hair nets that you see in the restaurant industry. Little triangular openings, very tightly grouped together, and they're stretched out in the forest in an area where we would expect to see birds passing through. The birds, when they pass through, they don't see them, especially in the early morning hours because they're black. And when they hit the net, usually hit it as they're flying through the forest, and they sort of stretch the net out, and then they fall down into a pocket, and they're held in that pocket. Sometimes they become a little entangled if they wiggle around with their wings and their legs grabbing the net and all that, and they'll hang there until we come by. We run the nets about every 30 minutes, especially in weather like this. It's a little bit cool, so we don't want to leave them hanging out there very long. And you don't want to go much longer than 30 to 40 minutes because a predator could come by and find them hanging in the net. We don't want that. So they fall in the net, they become entangled, and it's a very difficult process to get them untangled, which takes a lot of training. And Elliot and Angie have been through the training. We're working under a permit that's my permit. I am what's considered a master bird bander. So I have a permit from the United States Geological Survey, and they work as sub-permittees under my permit based upon their training. Rob Ritchie also helps sometimes with bird extraction, and Juan has also helped with bird extraction over time. But we very carefully extract the birds, and then we'll be bringing them back here to the cabin where we will actually process and work the birds and release them. And we'll be talking more about that, about what we do and how we do that as we go along. Let me walk back out and see what's going on with folks. Are y'all about ready to head out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm getting the feed that we're ready to head out.
Oh, Elliot, which next?
I'm going to put my mask on.
Do you want like 1 through 3 or 4 through 6?
Oh, we can switch it up. Yeah, I'll do 4 through 6
Okay.
first, and then we'll switch halfway through,
1
and you
through
do 4
3.
through 6.
Do you want the paper or post-it now?
I'll grab them when we get back. Thank you, Angie.
All right, we're opening.
All right, so what are we doing, Angie?
We're going down to open the nets. So the first step of banding in the morning is opening the nets. Elliot and I and Juan went out yesterday and we set them up. We preset them. We are really careful to furl them, and you'll be able to see that in a second, so no birds get caught overnight. And we're going down now to open them up.
All right, let's go.
Angie, you want we can go to 6 and 3, and then we'll work way back.
Work our way
I'll
back.
start on 6
Sounds
and
good.
start on 3.
Yeah. I know.
Are you going to net 1, Angie?
I'm going to 3, and I'm going to work my way back.
Is anybody going to open this net over here?
We could do that one last.
Last.
Or we'll
Yeah, why don't somebody let's do that one first, so that live aspects, we can kind of do that, and then I'll talk to folks about.
I can do it. I'm on it.
Okay, all right, I'm following.
Angie, you want to go 1 to 3 then, and we'll go 4 to 6.
Yeah, that works. Thank you. So it's pretty dark right now, but it'll get brighter and easier to see.
Let me transition.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. Those that are still with us, we apologize. We had some real technical difficulties. Really don't know what happened, but Juan has got us back live again, and I hope some folks are still with us. I'm going to step away from Juan here and take my mask off. We're going to, I think, for the sake of continuity, just stay right here at the Pop Point cabin, just so that we don't lose the feed. We were trying to get down to the first net and see if we could show how the nets were set, and give everybody a feel for what it takes to get the nets set up in the dark. It is daylight now. I'll walk us over here. And again, we are at the beautiful Pot Point cabin, and we are live again. So very thankfully that we got it done, and appreciate Juan for sorting through all of it. When you're live, anything can happen, and it happened, and we finally got it back up and running. We've tested, and not sure what happened this morning, but nonetheless, we're up. The banders should be back here shortly with the nets being up, and we can talk a little bit more about what they're going to be looking for when we capture the birds and when we bring them back here to work them. I'm going to walk you over here. I hear them coming back now on the trail. This is the table that we use to do our bird banding with, and where we would actually work all of the birds. This starting right here is we call the rescue bird box. Sometimes birds can get stressed on a cold morning, and this box is a way to warm them back up before we release them. It's this box right here. It's got some holes in it to allow the bird to breathe, and then inside it there is several items, especially like these. Most of you have seen these hand warmers. There's also some, in case if something happens to the bird, some clotting agent, so that if a bird hangs a feather and pulls a feather and there's bleeding at all, we can stop that. But this is just sort of a trauma box to get a bird warmed up and get them back out if they need to. This is our manual that we use to very carefully and specifically identify each bird. It's called the Peter Powell Identification Guide to North American Birds. Some refer to it as the Bible of bird banding. It's a very, very boring book to the average person. It's not like a normal bird ID book. There are no photographs in this book. This is all about plumage. This is all about aging the bird, looking at windows of time that would help you age that bird to understand whether or not it's a bird that's hatched this year, a bird that is hatched in previous years, and possibly how many years old that bird is. It's a very complex and difficult process to go through. This is just a page here that goes through some of the nomenclature of the birds themselves. As you'll hear the banders calling out specific things and specific measurements related to each of the birds. Sometimes it comes down to which feather that they're talking about with regards to molting. There's measurements that are done on the mandible of the bird, measurements that are done on the rectrices, the tail feathers down here, all kinds of things that are being done. And a lot of these measurements are done with specific instruments like this wing measuring tool right here, and you'll see how that's used a little bit later when we bring some birds in. We weigh the birds. We use this straw here to blow back feathers so that we can see fat content, and we can also help us look at the bird to determine whether it's male or female by moving feathers out of the way with the breath. just using a very specific pointed wind coming from the mouth. These are very nerdy glasses. They're magnifying glasses that we use to look closely at the bird for things like skull ossification, which is where a bird has a soft spot on the skull. A young bird does, very similar to a human baby that has a soft spot in the front of the skull up on top when they're born, and it later grows together. The plates grow together and ossify that skull. And that's another way of determining whether this time of year we could catch a bird that's has full plumage on it, and without looking at certain things you wouldn't really know that it was a bird that was hatched this year. But if you look at specific weathering of the feathers, meaning the aging of the feathers, the worn out nature of those feathers, you look at skull ossification, you look at different things around the mouth of the bird or the beak of the bird, where you've seen baby birds in nests that have a real large gape, a real large mouth. Well, they'll lose that and form their bill, or what we know as the bill or the beak, but it'll still maintain some of that aspect of the gape on the mouth. So there's different things we can look at. These are banding pliers right here. These pliers are used to put the band on a bird, and the band is a very tiny metallic aluminum band that fits inside one of these three holes right here, depending on the size of the leg of the bird, and it goes around the bird's leg, and it has an 8 or 9 digit number that's on the band itself that's uniquely identified to that specific bird. Once it's attached, that information is sent back to a database at the U.S. Geological Survey. So if the bird is captured again by us or by anyone else that's out there bird banding, we can identify that bird and know where it was originally banded and share information about where it's been relocated or recaptured in another place. And that helps us learn more about these birds and their full life cycles. And this is what's called a leg gauge, and this you use to slip around the bird's leg to figure out what size band would go around the bird's leg. You'll see here 0A, 0, 1C, 1, 1B, 1A, 2, 3, 3B, 3A, and 4. These go up with the size of the birds. These are more like woodpecker sized or larger sized birds. Start getting into waterfowl and raptors and eagles and all those kinds of birds with the larger ones over here. And this helps us if they're sometimes going back to this Peter Powell manual, it'll give you a range of bands depending on the bird itself. So it may say it could be a 0A or a 0, and if it says that you need to use under the band size a 0A or a 0, then where you find that would be here. For a golden fronted woodpecker would be a band size 2, which we don't have those birds here. These are all the birds of the United States. See if I can find something that's a simple bird. Tufted titmouse, very common bird for us. Many of you have seen those. Eastern tufted titmouse is a size 1B. So if it said 1B, or if it said size 1 or 1B, you would use the leg gauge to figure out which one you would use on that specific bird. So I'm going to stop with that for a second and go over here to Angie, who is back from setting the nets. We had some technical difficulty, Angie. We lost you on the net set. So we got all the nets set at this point.
They're all set. They're open. We set a timer. So we keep the nets open for about 30 minutes, and then we check them. So we've got a timer going, and we've got about 9 minutes until we go back over to the nets. And you have a question? Well,
I was going to say, and then when you go back to the nets. Yeah.
That's when we check for the birds. So we opened them. We made sure that they were not had a lot of leaves falling in them overnight. We made sure that they were all tightened up. Sometimes they can sag a little bit overnight. And now they're open. They're open for the day. So we'll check them every 30 minutes for birds. When we get birds, we put them in our little bird bags here. Did you get the bird bag on the live stream?
I don't know. I don't know if we got cut off on that or not,
Well,
where we were doing the bird bag.
You'll see these a lot all day today. These are our bird bags. Basically what these are a very humane way to transport birds, because you can put them into this bag and seal it. It's a soft carrying area, and then they actually calm down when you put them in here.
Yeah.
Because they can't see anything.
Yeah, they get a little excited when they're in the net because they don't really understand what just happened to them. Yeah.
So this is the most humane way to do it, and we tag these with our net numbers. So Elliot and I have both decided which nets are going to be our nets for the day, and that's actually, it's not super unusual, but we're doing that right now because of COVID. We're trying to minimize contact.
Yeah.
So Elliot will have nets 4 through 6, and I have nets 1 through 3.
So we've got 6 nets out
We've
this
got
morning.
6 nets out. Normally, during non-COVID times, in like traditional banding stations, we'll have up to 12. Sometimes, I don't know if you've seen more, but that's the number I've seen.
Most
mostly.
I've ever worked is 20, and that's a lot.
That's a
yeah.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on the station. Some stations will be busier than others, depending on the habitat and the time of year. So we usually, at our banding station across the river, we usually open, I think, 12 nets, and sometimes a canopy net, which is really cool. We don't have one of those set up today, but they're basically a net that can go all the way up into the canopy. They require a lot of extra volunteers and staff to be able to rig it up, so usually we just go with our land-based nets. And normally, during non-COVID times, we'll have, all staff members will go to the nets and we'll just kind of check them off one by one. But in this case, Elliot and I both have our own nets. So I have nets 1 through 3. So I've got these little clothespins here. And these, what I do with these is I put them on my bag so I can tag them. So that way I don't have to think about it. I can focus on the bird's safety and health. But I know which net it came from, which is important for data collection for later on. Because if you think about it, net 1, we've got over here, it's down by the river. Net 6 is over in the field, so it can make a big difference in terms of habitat where you collect them. So knowing where the nets are can make a difference. So that's something that we as scientists, we collect that data.
Yeah, that's a very important point to make, that of the why we do what we do, is to look at which birds are using which kinds of habitat.
Yeah.
And then when you look at across the river there, all this incredible forest over there, there's 27,000 acres of this throughout the gorge. We're wanting to see what kinds of breeding pairs of birds are using which kinds of habitat. And if we have certain ones in certain habitats, that's good news. If we have certain birds that we would expect to see but are not there, then we have to ask the question why.
Yeah.
And that goes back to our full life cycle aspects of things. When we're studying these birds, asking basically the question, why are we doing this? Why are we capturing and banding these birds? Why do we subject them to this? It's so that we learn something to help us form better decisions on how we manage this property for the birds, so that we can make informed, science-based informed decisions about what we may or may not need to do. But we also have to look at, again, the full life cycle. These birds don't stay here year round. Tell us about that, Angie.
Yeah, so one of the reasons we're doing our banding right now in October, or it's almost October,
Yeah.
is because it's during fall migration. And one of the things we want to look at is how healthy are these birds when they're coming through. So just like if you go to the doctor, or if you take your best pet friend to the vet, they get a full physical exam. So that's kind of like what we're doing with the birds. We're checking up on their weight, their fat, their feather plumage, and how healthy their feathers are, what condition their feathers are in, if they're molting, if they're not molting. We check what age they are, and all of that can really help us tell how healthy the birds are, and we can make some inferences about how healthy the the birds are that are coming through in migration, not just our resident birds that stay here all winter. So a lot of you know that there are birds that stay here all winter. You're probably familiar with cardinals and chickadees and titmice. I think Rick mentioned the tufted titmouse earlier.
Carolina wrens,
robins. But there are a lot of birds that don't stay here for the winter and that actually are about to, and some of them have already made thousands of miles of a journey down to South and Central America. And different birds go to different places in South and Central America, and as scientists, we're actually still figuring out exactly where they all go. So that's some really cool research we've been doing, and I'm sure we'll talk about later. But that's really something that is so fascinating that's happening right now in the forest. And during the fall, it's kind of hard to realize that that's happening because the birds have kind of stopped singing at this point. They aren't focusing on territories or mates anymore. They're just focusing on fattening up and getting ready to fly across the Gulf or down through the Mexico and the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah, and when we as we were saying earlier, talking about the full life cycle, if we can make assumptions that things are okay here, and we can make assumptions that maybe there's nothing wrong here. It could be on the migration route, or it could be on the the wintering grounds, or what we call the non-breeding grounds for the birds. And once we learn where these birds go, we make better connections for better decisions, I think is the best way to describe it.
Right.
Are we getting ready to make another run, Elliot?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right, so we got 2 minutes before we make another run. And I guess we'll kind of close with that while we're doing this next run, and we'll take a break while they do that, because I can't go out and live stream from the nets, unfortunately. I'll just wait and see if they have any joy when they come back. But I'll talk a little bit again in closing for this section about that full life cycle aspects of things. We need to have this information, and then it's also about, do we learn something that we can share with another bird bander? So I guess the great moment is if you go to a net this morning and you catch a bird that we describe has jewelry on it, meaning it has a band. And does that band belong to us in some of our previous work, or does it belong to someone else? And can we share more information with someone in Maine or in Pennsylvania or somewhere else that has banded a bird that's wanting to know what direction does their bird go when they leave here on their migration?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's part of what we're trying to figure out and solve with this kind of work here. And I will leave you with any closing thoughts on that, Angie, and then we'll take a break, and we should be back. Any closing thoughts from you, Angie?
I mean, migration is so fascinating to me, and we still don't know a lot about it. So it's really, I get a lot of questions all the time about why do birds migrate? How do they migrate? Just why? Why do they do that? It's crazy. So I would encourage everyone to do some research on your own, ask questions of any local scientists you know. Use iNaturalist and eBird and some of those really cool websites and apps to kind of learn more about your local flora and fauna, because it's really fascinating. Yeah.
It is fascinating work. So we're going to take a break. Keep us up on your computer, and we will be back in a few, and we'll hopefully have some birds to show you in the hand here. So everybody take a break, and we'll be back shortly.
All right, timer just went off. I'm gonna set,
Go get some birds.
another 30 minutes.
I'm Elliot Burrs, the Access Director with the Tennessee River Gorge Trust, and I'm out here with our Executive Director, Rick Huffines, and we're going to take you out to find some old moonshine stills.
I'm so homesick and looking for a friend. Think I'll catch a southern train and ride someplace pretty. Take a trip on the L&N. Cause I'm riding high and wide to my home up around the bend. I'll soon be drifting back to those hills of Caroline when I'm riding on the
Moonshining is a deep-rooted culture in the River Gorge, again, mainly because this is a pretty hard scrabble area. It's a really tough place to make a living. You can't really farm much back here. It'd be very difficult. There's not much flat land to do that with. And one of the ways people did it was by cooking moonshine. And moonshine has added its name to a lot of things. We're in this area called Cache Canyon, and it got its name because of a lot of the cache that flowed in and out of here from the moonshiners. We had Shake Rag Hollow, which was named for the runners that could come up and down the road, and they would shake their rag if they wanted some whiskey, and that was the signal to the moonshiners that they needed a bottle of whiskey. The other was Snooper's Rock, where the revenuers would sit up on the rock and snoop to figure out where the smoke plumes were coming up out of the forest. It's just a neat, rich culture that was a way for people to make a living and feed their family, even though it was illegal. Most people knew it, but they did it anyway. This whiskey that they were making here was not high quality whiskey. These are called Alabama Black Pots. And what's really neat about this spot, as you can see right down here, are these slash marks. This is where the revenuer found this back in the day and chopped it up with his axe so they couldn't use it again. So that this still was discovered by the revenuers, it would have been shut down and it would not have been functional anymore. And then this is the remnants that are left. These, actually I learned from an old moonshiner, you can use to date the age of the still. These would tell me that this was about a 1940 still, because during World War II they were restricting the purchase of sugar. So the moonshiners, to keep moving, would buy molasses, and they made their whiskey out of molasses instead of white cane sugar. So this right here is the evidence of an old still that was here probably in the mid-1940s. One of the old moonshiners told me a story about this very spot right here where the revenuers ran into the moonshiner. The moonshiner took off running and the revenuer chased him. Well, the moonshiner tripped and fell over a stone and he broke his ribs. Well, the revenuer caught up to him and he said, "Well, I guess you're going to arrest me." The moonshiner did. The revenuer said, "No." He said, "You had about a 300-foot head start on me when you fell and broke your ribs." He said, "I'm going to let you take off and keep running." He said, "Then I'm going to catch you again." He said, "Then it'll be a fair chase." And that's the way the story ended. He got up, he ran, he caught him, and he arrested him. But they had the understanding that they could work together and be fair with each other in the process.
to those hills of Carolina when I'm riding on the L&N. When I'm riding on the L&N.
The Tennessee River Gorge Trust is devoted to preserving the Tennessee River Gorge as a natural sanctuary for our community today and for generations to come. They accomplish this goal through land protection, education, community engagement, and good land stewardship practices. To learn more about the Tennessee River Gorge, please visit the website at trgt.org.
And a special thanks to Miller & Martin, the In Our Nature sponsor.
You good? All right, I think we're back live again. Just wanted to hope you enjoyed that video. Juan is going to try to feed some videos throughout the time periods where we are out capturing the birds. What I can tell you is we do have some birds. I've heard back from them. I know I could hear some birds down in the net, the first net, when they went to check them. And Elliot, I could hear him, he shouted back to me. We had a wood thrush, a catbird, and something else in one net. So we're going to have a variety of birds coming back for sure, at least 3. I know it's going to be at least 3, should be more than that. And they'll be back momentarily. They just have to go through. Sometimes it takes a while to get them out of the nets, depending on how much they're tangled up. We will start to work the birds, and I'll try to get the camera up as close as I can to them so you can see the birds up close. What's incredible is we see birds a lot, but when you get a bird in the hand and you actually have it up close to your eyes, there's all kinds of things that are really incredibly neat about that bird, and the colors that you see in them that you don't see when they're up in the tree. The iridescence that's in a lot of the feathers that you don't notice when a bird is in the tree versus in your hand. And then there's a lot of more greens and olives in those colors than you know until you get them up close. And I'm really excited about this wood thrush. That's a bird that's in rapid decline right now, and any information we can learn about wood thrush and their full life cycle could help us understand more about what we can do or should be doing to help birds like the wood thrush. Real excited this morning in a few minutes to have them back with some birds so that we can show you up close. Really appreciate you all that have stuck with us through the technical difficulties this morning, and look forward to showing you some birds here in just a few. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out for a minute and let Juan upload another video for folks, and we should be back within 5 minutes or so with some hopefully some live birds. We'll see you in a few. think I see some. We're out walking along a creek, and I believe we have some right up here. And we do. These mayapple, sometimes called the hog apple, the turtle apple, the duck's foot, the wild lemon, the ground lemon, and the raccoon berry.
So the scientific name for this plant it comes from Greek, and it's Podophyllum peltatum. It's a really fun name to say. It's actually one of my favorite Latin names from around here in the plant world to pronounce. So podo means foot, phylum means leaf, and peltatum means shield-like. So basically what that name means, it's a leaf that looks like a foot, but it also looks like a shield. Ooh, there's one right here.
Oh yeah, those are beautiful. And then one thing that I've noticed, as you can see, Angie is on a plant that has 2 leaves. The mayaples only bloom on a plant that has 2 leaves, and they bloom at the axis of where those 2 leaves are. If you go to a single stem, which we'll do, you'll see there's no bloom. And any of them that have the single stem, there's no bloom.
Mayaples, they live in a colony like this, and often when you come up on them in the woods, you'll see a ton of them at a time because they can reproduce in 2 different ways. They can reproduce underground through rhizomes, they're like really big root systems, and they can also reproduce through the fruit, which are eaten by a lot of different animals, but especially box turtles.
The turtles, the box turtles, really love to eat these fruits. Speaking of eating, you don't want to eat this fruit. I can tell you firsthand, if you do, you're going to need a lot of toilet paper. This whole plant is poisonous. Every bit of it, the stem, the flower, the leaves, the roots, and the fruit. Some say you can eat the fruit. I don't recommend eating the fruit. The fruit also is poisonous
as well, but this plant is actually very valuable when used as doctors, synthesized as a medicine. It's currently being used as a cancer treatment drug for chemotherapy. Native Americans also use it as medicine, but we will leave the magic of this plant up to the doctors and herbalists and the professionals.
That's probably enough for today. We hope that you can find some time to get outside and explore and maybe find something like the mayapple. And we look forward to seeing you again on our next video. See you for now. Okay, I think we're back live, guys. Let me get this camera turned around. And there's Angie.
Hey.
And she's happy, which means she found joy in the nets. And I think over here we have some birds in the bags. And you can see there's the numbers. Oh, they're jumping. They're excited in there. And there's the numbers. Net number 2, 2, and 3 is where these came from. Did Elliot get birds?
Yeah, he's on his way. I think he's out collecting right now.
Okay,
yeah.
So he's got birds and he's out still collecting. So this is exciting. We do have some birds, and Rob Ritchie is going to be doing our scribing this morning. And Rob is a longtime volunteer with us. Does a lot of work with reptiles and amphibians and just about anything. He's kind of a jack of all trades, right, Rob?
Master of none.
Master of none. But he is going to be the master of scribing. And the scribing means he's going to be taking down all of the data and the information, as you can see on the computer screen there. This is the program that we use with the U.S. Geological Survey to
go over the highlights.
Yeah, to document each of these birds. This is, whoops, no, now we're upside down. This is the sheet that he has reflected on it. This is the paper version of the sheet he has reflected on his screen with all the data, meaning the band number, the species name, the alpha code, which is a 4-digit acronym for each bird. Like the worm-eating warbler is the WEWA. and it has the age. It wants to know how you aged it, the sex, how you determined the sex, all of those kinds of information. Measurements, wing, the wing measurement, the body mass, the status, meaning is it healthy, or are there problems with it? And then we'll release that bird to go right back to where we found it, which it will do when we after we release it. It'll go right back. So, let's zoom in.
We got a gray catbird here.
Oh, this is really neat.
And I love them. I'm trying to get this band off here, but yeah, these guys are awesome. They're one of my favorites too. Remind me of growing up in Connecticut. I'd hear them every summer. They sound like a cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they go. Yeah.
So Rob, this is gray catbird. The 4-letter code is GRCA. Ricka. Size 1A band.
We use instead of species, we use the 4-letter code in these species, correct?
Yeah, I think Elliot might have species there too, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, the sheet has both, but I think this just has
Oh.
code.
Let's see. I see it. I've got it. It's right there. Let me get that. Sometimes
They fly off.
the bands will pop out of the pliers.
Thank you, Rick.
Let me get familiar with the sheet.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm gonna get the band ready here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna weigh him so I can get up 2 hands.
Yeah,
Okay, she's gonna weigh the bird on the scale.
So we try to make a little burrito here with the bag.
The bird's not in the bag yet.
And I guess if you all remember from science class, you've got a 0.
So
The
she
scale.
she has to weigh the bag, and then that way tear the scale so that when she puts the bird back in there, it's only the weight of the bird, not the weight of the bird. And the bag, because they're so lightweight, it's very important to make sure that you get this right.
All right, Rob, you ready for weight? I know it's out of order, but
give me the species again.
it's a gray catbird, GRCA.
GRCA.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going back down to weight, and then come back and pick up the other stuff later.
Yep. So mass is 34.6.
You mean hold that bag while you open that band? Angie's going to open the band so that we can properly place it on the bird's leg.
What's the bird weight?
34.6
And that's in grams.
in grams.
Yeah, 34.6 grams.
Wait time is 8:07.
34 grams would be about, what, 2/4 in your hand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Two 25-cent pieces in your hand? Yeah. Okay. As you can see, the band has been opened so that it'll fit over the bird's leg.
And I think, do we use these for 1A, or do we go up to a bigger
Right there,
pliers for 1A usually, Rick?
I think this will still fit those pliers. You can try it and see,
Okay.
but I believe it will. As you can see that it's been opened, and it'll fit over the bird's leg, and then it'll be pinched closed, but it will not be pinched closed onto the bird's leg. It'll be around the bird's leg, so it slips back and forth, and we'll demonstrate that after she gets it done.
Do you have the band number?
We do, but I cannot read it, so I'll have to pass it back to Angie.
Okay, you ready, Rob?
Yep.
Band number is 241
241
161
161
2229.
3 2s and a 9.
Yep. And we always put it on there.
Okay, disposition.
I think disposition is that status. Sorry, so we've changed. They changed the.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at it before. They're a little bit different.
I think status is. I can't remember the code for it, but he's like. We'll ask Elliot. I think it's 0 for like awake and. Oh, disposition. Here we go. They just changed maps banding. They just changed in the last few years, so I'm like still.
That's a rule. We'll work through it.
I don't think we need to put anything for disposition.
until we release it.
If
Okay.
they're.
If he's healthy, it'll be a 300 when we release
That's
him.
what I thought. There's no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be when we
Okay, so
finally.
we always put it on there, right?
Yeah.
Right, that's his right. No, I'm a little. I really do have some trouble with left and right sometimes. I don't know why. But basically, we put the band on the leg. We could try to stabilize the leg, and we get our pliers. Let's see. Do this
And
different.
again, this will go around the leg, but not be clamped
Right.
onto the leg.
And that's why we have these special band. These are pliers that are actually made especially for banding birds.
You need some help.
I got it.
Okay.
We just, yeah, it's like really important because they do struggle a little bit, so you want to make sure you're holding the leg stable. You sometimes get little gaps.
Yeah, you want to make sure we get it completely closed, which is what Angie's doing now, so it doesn't get snagged on a limb or a branch or anything. It's a delicate process.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta like, even there might be gaps, and sometimes you just gotta adjust a little bit.
Sometimes you can go to that next hole to get it a little bit tighter. But just very gently and slowly closing that gap. She's doing a great job. Actually, that's perfect. It's all lined up. Did you get a bird, Elliot?
Big
So
bird.
Elliot is back.
Okay, and then I like to look at the band one more time.
Yeah.
Just to confirm with the scribe. So Rob, 2411 61229.
3 twos and a 9 or
Yeah.
2 twos and a 9. She only said 2 twos.
61229.
Okay, so just two twos.
Yeah, sorry. See, that's why we confirm.
Yeah.
I like the way that one went. Keep that back.
So we've got the band on. That's the first thing you want to do. And
Yep.
then we'll start working through the bird. You
Yep.
can explain the different measurements you're taking.
Yeah.
And also, for some birds, as you were talking about earlier, they can be difficult to identify. This one is not. It's a pretty simple, not a lot of birds that look like it. One thing I do see that I love about this bird is that most people don't know is it has some pretty rusty colors
Yeah. It's
underneath.
Really pretty on its
Remember
back.
me talking
Yeah.
about how these pretty colors, you can see the gray cat bird has this beautiful rust color under the belly. And Angie's gonna blow back on some of the feathers, trying to see if this is a male or a female, if she can determine it. And some birds we can, and some birds we cannot.
Yeah, I'm not completely convinced, and it's we're at like the tail end
Yeah.
of September, or
Yeah.
is it October 1st today? What's the
It's
date?
September 30th today.
Yeah. So, and it says you can tell male or female in September, and I almost think I see a CP, but it's too little to tell, so I'm gonna say sex unknown, Rob.
She's going to say the sex is unknown, and CP is the cloacal protuberance,
Oh, yeah.
which is the genital area or the vent area of the bird.
How aged? Do we say visual or
Or how sexed?
how?
Or
how-
I haven't
sex,
gotten
yeah.
to aged yet.
Sex, sex.
Can I give you fat?
Fat? Is it?
Yep, it's 4. It's filled.
So what she's doing now is she's blowing feathers back and looking at the skin.
No CP, no BP, so.
And she's
0 for
determining body fat composition, and they have a numerical number. She's talking about, when she says it's filled, she's talking about an area called the foricular hollow, which is the area we know as the wishbone area of a turkey or a chicken. It's up at the top of the breast area where the neck and the head meet the breast area, and that gets
Give it
filled
back
with fat.
for again.
4.
4?
Yeah. And I can go in your order if you want, actually, if that's easier for you.
It would be because it's so much
What's your
here, I gotta
next
bounce
thing?
around. Okay, let's do the age.
Okay. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna get some water for the skull, but
And I need to get the house sex.
house sexed.
While we're on the sex, before we leave that.
I think you can just say, well, since we're unknown,
So just
I just would leave it. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at how if we can age it this time of year. And I think we can by.
I am going to slip over here to Elliot and take a look at his bird while you're sorting through that.
Yeah. Wow, that's fast.
What do you have here, Elliot?
So this is a pretty cool bird. It's a gray cheek thrush.
Can you put it in a...
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
get a better grip. One neat thing, we'll probably catch some Swainson's thrushes today, and they're very similar looking birds, but one way to tell the difference is a Swainson's thrush has a complete white eye ring, and a gray cheek thrush does not. If you look at the feathers right around its eye, a Swainson's thrush would make a full white circle. This one doesn't. Just a minute difference. This is a cool, really cool bird. It's a long distance migrant. You only find them here in spring and fall migration. They're have really long wings. You'll notice we'll take a wing measurement in a minute, but it's just neat to have a bird coming through the gorge. It's made such a long journey. You can actually see a molt limit on the coverts of this bird, where so the bird's molting its feathers, and you can see where there are some new and old feathers on its wing. But yeah, gray cheek thrush, we just put the band on its leg. You can see it right there. And now we're about to take measurements. This bird's super fat, and it's in the middle of migration, so it makes sense. It's built up some fat reserves. If you look where I'm blowing, you'll see a bunch of really light yellow skin. Usually that's a deep, dark cavity, but right now during migration it's full of fat, so it has the fat reserves necessary for migration.
After hatch.
So we'll weigh it real quick. Fat score is 4. Sex is unknown.
Okay, plumage
What's next?
is bird status.
300.
300. Bird bander.
AL.
Location.
41.7 grams. This is a chunky bird.
Hairs.
That is a heavy bird.
Hairs.
Pairs?
Error.
Oh,
As
error.
in, yeah.
I don't know what that is.
That you can leave that blank, Rob. That'll be. Yeah, that's for the bandit.
Capture time. We call
Alright.
it that.
So this is how, I don't know if you've already seen Angie take a wing measurement, but this is how we
We
take.
did not do a
Okay,
wing measurement.
so this is a
Wing cord.
ruler that's made for bird banding, and it's got 2 sides, and one side is used to do what's called a wing cord measurement. So
807.
put the shoulder up here,
Bird weight we got. Any remarks?
set the wing down, and we
No
have
replace band. Fat score was a 4. Tail length.
Tail length is 65. Or sorry, 66.
66.
96 on.
That's a long wing for a small little bird.
Tarsus length.
Are we doing tarsus length, Elliot?
We're not.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Robin.
Coleman length.
Now you're measuring.
66, we're measuring the tail feathers, which are also called the retrices. So we flip the ruler over
Height.
and use the other
Root
side.
patch.
67, yes sir.
Cloacal protuberance.
0.
No brood patch, sex
Skull.
unknown.
I'm not gonna skull him because he's
I'm gonna skull this bird. I'm gonna grab some water real quick.
How
You want
captured.
to let him go?
Yeah.
Let's do a. Okay, we're going to switch back over to Angie. She has finished
Okay.
working.
Just net.
Yeah, net. And all the ones like that, you can they're all gonna be the same. Yeah. Yeah.
And Angie's finished working the catbird, but she's going to go ahead and release him. She thinks he's getting a little bit cold.
Yeah.
So we're going to.
And I don't think we need to skull him because you can
Yeah.
see in the pile that it.
There's a bunch on here. Eye color.
We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fields with
Yeah.
Flight feather molt. Body molt.
Yeah, we'll do those.
Code.
So fly feather molt and body molt is none.
None.
Or I think it's what's the code? Sorry. Yeah, none is 0. Flight feather molt is N.
0,
And flight feather wear.
0. Molt cycle code.
I'm not sure what that is.
Nah, we can skip that.
Okay. Any ectoparasites?
Nope.
No nest cavity.
Nope.
Nest cavity, no nest. Slot ID.
Nope.
Sweep number. Submission time stamp. Modify time stamp. Those are already filled in.
Yeah.
So,
Is there a place for flight feather wear? That's we normally do that on here.
Band number, bypass error. No.
Oh, there's not a place for flight feather wear? That's weird.
None.
You about to release yours, Elliot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flight feather wear.
Yeah.
Make sure I didn't miss it.
That's
Or maybe FF wear.
FF wear.
No.
No?
We can make a column.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to make a column, that'd be great. And it's mine's 1.
I'm gonna take where we had errors and just make it flight feather.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks, Rob. Okay, so we're gonna release them. This is one of my favorite birds.
Look at a video, Angie.
Okay,
2 for.
2 at once.
Yeah.
Double
yeah.
release. Ready?
1 sec. Go for it.
Bye bye.
All right, now we're going to release the gray cheek thrush.
That was 9 on the flight feather wear.
Go on your way for a long journey, my friend.
Time for that next net run. Angie, you want me to just run the nets
Sure, that'd
and
be great.
bring the birds back?
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, and I'll just continue.
Guess I'll go take care of the classroom. Yeah. Sounds good.
Hey, Juan, would you check the live feed real quick, please? Thank you.
And I'm gonna have Juan give me some water for sculling.
Okay. So what you got in this bag?
I don't remember what's in this bag. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's like a big surprise when you hadn't been out on the net runs.
Right.
I wasn't on the net run, so I don't know what's in them.
Well, and I can't. All the bags look the same. It's like, oh.
I know what that
No,
is.
no.
Oh, yeah, it's the little Tasmanian devil. Yeah, this is going to be a
Ow.
tufted
Oh my
titmouse.
God, you
Yeah.
got this-
Yeah, everybody that bands birds knows this one well just from that sound.
Oh Lord.
And they will bite the ever-loving dickens out of your hand.
He's all tangled, of course, in the bag.
Yeah.
You said we're not doing Tarsus length on any
No,
right?
none of those like the
Yeah, I'm
full.
just gonna black them out.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, the tufted titmouse is
It's
always a tough one.
oh yeah, and they grab the bag, and I just want
Yeah.
everyone to know.
Yeah.
I love birds. I've loved birds since I was a little kid, and I know that it sounds like they're in pain. They're fine.
They're quite the showman, or show person, or show bird, with their voice when you're handling them.
They're
Yeah.
just a pain in the butt.
We do nickname these the Tasmanian devil because as small as they are, you reach in that bag, they can inflict some
Oh, they
incredibly
definitely
intense pain on your fingers. They are incredibly good at also finding any hangnails that you have on any fingers, and they will bite that and pinch it and twist it and pull it. They can actually make them bleed.
They can.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
This is the eastern tufted titmouse,
Yep, I'm trying to.
and many of you are familiar with this bird. I'm sure it
Oh,
has a
it's
little
not in this
little
pile.
crown on its head.
Oh, you had it turned it. Oh wow, Rick,
love
you
the
are
nest and the
just
front
amazing. You turned it to this one,
Yeah.
and it's not in the tabular, so
Yeah, there
you
we
just
go.
saved me.
Yeah.
So,
On
Rob,
B.
what's
Yes.
the first one? One
Band number.
Band number.
Mhm.
Forget myself.
So we're gonna get a band.
Yep.
This is where we keep all of our bands.
Were we gonna do dispositions when we release them?
Yes, it'd be 300 on those birds.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
You need some help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should just open all of these. When Juan gets back, you can ask him to just
Okay.
go ahead and open all the tops.
I'm gonna pull.
If you would just put it right on my reverse pliers, that'd be great. Thanks, Rick.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's a little weird right now with the COVID stuff. Normally we're trying to keep everything separated. Normally we'd be sitting right next to each other, and Rick would be my assistant, or vice versa, and we'd be helping each other with the bands. But right now it's not the case.
It's a little harder when you don't have someone helping you do some of this stuff. Yeah.
All right, Rob, you ready for the number?
Ready for the number.
2741
2741
46
46
226.
226. Repeat that back to you.
I'm gonna put it on the bird, and then I'll have you do that.
Okay.
Getting into my rhythm here. Oh, I might actually weigh him first.
DC
2T.
2T.
I'll help you out with the band.
Okay.
I hear.
Some of them I know. Like, I know tufted titmouse 4-letter code. Unfortunately. Alright, Rob, I'm going to give you the weight. I know that's out of order, but...
Well, we've called in another tufted titmouse.
Yep.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
They heard him.
21 grams.
Oh, brought in a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's called in his reinforcements.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Start mobbing.
Yeah, they're gonna mob.
Hey,
Which
Juan,
is-
when you get a chance, could you do me a huge favor? Could you fill this with water
Yes.
for sculling and open all the tops of the film canisters there, so that way next time we can. Thank you. Yep, there's
So-
a tufted titmouse right behind you, right?
Yeah, they're coming in.
You can-
This is his tribe,
You should see it.
and his tribe is coming to.
And he's biting my hand really bad right now. But I'm used to it at this point. He bit that little
Oh yeah,
earlier.
yeah. They know where those hangnails are.
So he's grabbing his own tail right now.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm sure, not comfortable for him, but
You said you're doing the weight before that days, right?
yeah, I think I'm
21
just,
grams. You did.
yeah, I think I'm just gonna do it just because it's easy for me to weigh it and then prepare the band.
Okay.
That's all right.
That's fine.
They have really strong feet, and one thing about the tufted titmouse that I've noticed too is sometimes when you are putting the band on them, they'll actually try to bite the band, which is not helpful.
Did I put that in the right hole? I think I did. You may have to shift it to the middle
That's
hole.
okay.
but-
I'll get it on the.
Yeah, you can at least
bird
get it
first.
clamped. Actually, it looks pretty good. You may have to go to the next hole.
Yeah.
Yep. Just slowly and gently, she'll close that band and match it up so it's a nice smooth fit. And if you would demonstrate how it slides up and down after you get it clamped.
So you can see this is actually still a little gappy.
Yeah, it's still a little bit of a gap.
So I'm going to fix that. You can see how I'm supporting the leg. That's really important, Rick, if you want to tell
Yeah.
them about why we do that.
Yeah, the legs are fragile, so you want to be careful and definitely support that leg as you're putting that band on.
But you can see how it
Yeah.
goes up and down the leg, so it shouldn't cause them much harm at all.
Yeah, the idea is no harm, and this keeps it's loose,
All
but
right, Rob, you want to read me the band back again?
Okay, 274
Yep.
146
Yep.
226.
Great, thank you.
that's it.
Now, what's your, I'll go by your
Okay,
order, Rob,
age.
because it's different than here. Okay, age, we'll just do that first. That's the hardest part. And it takes a long time to learn the pile guide here. This shows you when you can age it So basically, this is telling me that I can tell either if it's after hatch year or if it's a juvenile or hatch year bird this time of year. So that helps me narrow down a lot. And it's telling me that basically a juvenile should have a dusky forehead, brownish wash to the crest, buff eye ring. Or at least, I mean, I'll see, usually if it's a hatch year, it'll be probably molting this time of year too. So that's another thing we can use to kind of tell if it's a juvenile. Let's see. Grayer coverts, primaries, uniformly dull gray fresh. So we probably shouldn't really see any molt limits if it's a after hatch year. And I'll skull this one too, since Juan brought me some water.
And what she means by skull it is looking at the skull ossification that we talked about earlier. You know, whereas a human baby has a soft spot on the upper front part of the skull when they're born, birds have the same thing until they completely ossify. She's looking for body fat right now.
And molt, to see if maybe it's a hatch year.
And his tribe is back. Anytime he starts making noise, they come in to see if they can help out.
I really don't see. I don't see any molt limits, I don't think. So there's definitely some difference in the these coverts to those, but I think it's
after hatch
I'm
year.
gonna skull it.
Skull it.
Quick,
All right, she's going to skull it to see if she can see that window. He's going to get a hair washing, as we refer
and this
to
is
it.
why I use my nerd thing.
Yeah, these are some nerdy glasses.
Which
right
I'm still
here.
getting. I just got this. So
These
I
are
still have
like-
a button. Where's
yeah.
my button to turn on the
It's
light?
right on
Are you
top.
doing the skull measurement on this one?
Yes.
That'll help you with the age.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's after hatch here, but I'm just gonna skull it because he's like, I'm not worried about him and his condition right now.
Yeah, these are magnifying glasses
If
that
I can
Angie's
put
putting
them
on so that she can see that skull ossification a little bit better.
Sorry,
But
buddy.
they are definitely some nerdy glasses.
Oh yeah. Normally we're inside the banding lab, so we have a light, but we don't have a light, so I just got these so I can have a light while I'm looking.
So the skin on the back of the bird's head is very, very thin. So she pulls the feathers back with a little bit of water. She can see through the skin and pull it up to the base of the skull there to see that ossification, to see if there's a window in the skull or if the skull is completely closed and ossified. I'm gonna back away from her to give her some room. And I'll swing out here. His tribe is right up here in this chestnut tree. There he is, chattering. There's at least three up there, maybe four. Which he'll join them back here in just a second when she's finished with the skull ossification and the rest of the measurements.
Any windows, Rob, so I'm gonna say he's after hatch year.
So after hatch year means we don't know exactly how old this bird is, but we know he wasn't hatched this year.
Is there a skull measurement that I record on your skull?
You can just say, I think it's 5 or 6, or 6 is fully complete. So.
Okay, 6.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we back up here to. Backing up. Okay, after hatch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To your wing cords and all that.
Plumage on the how age and skull.
Yeah, you can put P and S. Or I guess just put S actually, because
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, sex.
Unknown.
It's unknown on the sex.
Look at him.
Date, bird status.
300.
Okay.
So Angie's going to do the wing cord measurement and the tail feather measurement.
Okay, flight weather wear.
Light feather wear is 2.
2.
Okay, here Elliot coming back. Yep.
Capture time. This thing's not recording the time now.
And he has
7:30.
birds.
For some reason it's converting the time to, I've never seen it do this. 17:5:20 when I type in 07:30.
You can fit. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to fix it later.
Wing cord.
81.
So wing cord's 81, tail feathers.
Remarks. No replaced bands.
No, you can just blast through all
Bat
that.
score.
All right, Elliot, what you
That's
got?
1.
I have a female cardinal.
1.
Oh, this is always fun too.
Length,
67.
I think it's 2.
67. Blast through
And
the
then
other.
there's no body mold,
Choose
no
the number
light
2.
feather mold.
Yeah. Oh, I ain't got the. No brood patch.
Oh,
No
1.
brood patch.
No collateral vertebra.
Nope.
Okay. Eye color.
And we're not doing all
We're not
any
doing
of
it at
that.
all. Okay.
So I think that should be it.
Ready to release?
I believe so. I think we've gone through all
It
this.
said all the body molt was 0.
Mm-hmm.
Fight feather molt 0.
Yep.
Yeah, 2.
No, we're not doing molt cycle.
Oh, it's right there.
No parasite.
Angie's got it.
Nope.
And do you mind if we use the sheet for the cardinal?
Oh, go for it. Yeah. It could, I don't know what. It just got wet. From,
You ready to release that one, Angie?
yeah, I was checking with
All
that.
right.
Okay, that should be it.
Cool.
All right. He's going back to his
And
tribe
of course he's
now.
biting me right.
Oh yeah, let's get a
Look at
close up
that.
on that. Yeah, he just really loves to. He'll bite and twist. And, oh, look at him twist that
Ow.
head.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
And then he doesn't even want to go. He's just biting me.
Yeah, he's not done. He's
They're
paying
the
you
drama
back.
queens of the forest.
Yeah, they
So
are the
next
drama
time you
queens.
see
Oh,
one
yeah.
and you think, how cute, just remember it biting my hand.
It has gone back to its tribe. He or she
When you released it?
has gone back.
Unless we say, oh, there's something wrong, you can just put 300.
And this is another bird that's a fun one to reach in and grab as Elliot is wincing as he puts his hand in there. The cardinal is another one with a very strong beak.
Yeah, you can try to
well known for biting.
keep their head away from you, but eventually they're going to get you.
They're beautiful.
They're stronger biters too.
Rob, this is a
Yeah,
foot
they have that big,
thrust,
strong beak.
Foot thrust,
Yeah.
And we
Code
wasp,
Get a photographer's grip for you.
Yeah.
W-A-T-H.
WOTH.
W-O-T-H. Okay.
Neat to see those colors up close on the female cardinal.
Banding
How
that.
beautiful she actually is as well.
I'm about to figure out what
The different shades of grays and reds. And there's actually some olives in there if the camera's picking them up. It's really pretty in it. The pretty color of her bill. Elliot's going to be putting on, what size band, Elliot? 2?
2.
Yeah.
I have my pliers.
Oh, I borrowed them over here. Sorry. I'm being chastised by Angie for moving her stuff.
I like to use those for the bigger bands, Angie.
Oh, do you need it right now?
No, just,
No, he's got it.
Oh, cool. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't mess with Angie's stuff. She's got it set out in order. And you do have to be orderly with this, though.
1 2 2 2 5 3 3 2 6.
Alright, Rob, you ready for the band number?
Band number. 2411
61230.
61230.
Go for it.
And I'm not sure. Are you recording band size on there, Rob?
Nope.
222.
533. I don't have it anywhere.
Okay,
that I
it's
saw.
probably okay. You can ask Elliot in a second. Well, we can always look after because
Yeah, we can always track it down by the number.
Sex female.
And what you got in there, Angie?
If you want me to, I can just put a dash and then put the band size number behind the dash. Would that help?
No, it might get confusing.
Like feather molting, yeah.
We can look them up.
Okay.
well, I actually, you know what? This is what I thought. Yeah,
What you got in there?
I like was just memorizing what it was based on.
I've got this record status column we're not using right in front of the band
Ooh,
number.
it sounds like a wood thrush, maybe.
The record status. I'm not sure what that is.
I could put the band number there.
Is that a wood thrush? It sounds like
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Are those
With
the
the-
same
yeah.
as the first net one?
Yeah. I don't know what records. What's record status?
Symmetric. Okay.
You can just
So
skip
got
that,
some
Rob.
molting if you want to show
Okay.
it.
I was going to put the number there if you
Some
wanted.
molting
I,
if you
we
want to
can
show
ask
it.
Yeah.
Elliot in a sec. I would just not worry.
Okay. I
Um,
can do that.
So this is a molting feather, so it's growing a new feather. You can see the shaft of the feathers. The feather hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
So that's what a molting bird feather looks like while it's in the midst of molt. And it's symmetrically doing it on both of its wings right now.
Oh, yeah.
See the other side?
The feather shafts.
Body molt, yes.
Yeah.
So my battery on my gimbal just went out, so I'm going to have to remove the camera from the gimbal. So everybody bear with me for just a second while I do that.
That is 0.
Hey Rob, what's next for you?
Okay. We got
After her too, but
the age.
We'll work on the age.
and the mandible.
This is gonna be basically. This is telling me that it's gonna be kind of hard to read.
So let's see what you got, Angie. I had stepped
Oh yeah,
away
this
for
has
just.
a wood thrush. Another one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, look at that. You've already got the band on.
Mm-hmm.
Looks nice. Look at that eye.
I know.
Look how large that eye is, and that's because that bird generally stays in the darker regions of the forest.
So Rick, this is basically telling me that I can't really age it
Right.
this time of year.
Right.
So I'm just gonna say age unknown.
Age unknown.
So I'm not even gonna really mess with the skull. Try to.
You can enter the skull right now, I think, can't you?
It's saying September is. It's open for September, and then it's partially ossified in October. If it's. What do you think, Elliot?
It's your call.
Is that
I'll age them with the skull. That might be.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try spelling.
Juan, I think I'm about to lose my battery on this as
I'm gonna
well.
Try spelling it real quick,
Okay.
actually, Rob.
I think it's one of those things where you could definitely tell if
Well,
it's a
yeah.
hatch year,
If
but
it's
you
a
maybe
hatch
not be
year.
able, but it might be borderline to say if it's
Anything
average.
else? Yeah. That's a good point. Thank you.
Yeah, probably.
And I guess
What else do you need for the
I am. What do we do? Okay, folks, we are running short on battery, so bear with us. We are going to make some adjustments. If we lose you, hang in there, and we will be back if we do. Juan's making some adjustments now, but it looks like our batteries are starting to get low. think so.
So we got a female cardinal we're about to release. Nice.
There she goes, and another cardinal comes right in to check in on her. So we're back live, Juan. Okay, sorry about that, folks. We had to get some batteries straightened out. And Angie's still working the wood thrush.
73.
Again, thinking about that wood thrush and looking at that eye again, it's a reminder of how they adapt to their surroundings. That's a very deep forest bird. There's an old Native American legend that, you know, it does also have what I believe is the most beautiful song in the forest. Flute-like sound that's just beautiful. And the Native American legend is that the Great Spirit had a contest that whoever
47.8 for the weight.
whoever in the bird kingdom could fly the highest would be given the most beautiful voice in the forest. And during the contest, the bald eagle was going the highest, and just as he had finished and thought that he had gone the highest of all the birds, out of the back of his feathers flew a wood thrush, and he flew a little bit higher. And the bald eagle was exhausted. When they all came back down, the Great Spirit said, well, wood thrush, you did win. You flew the highest, but you cheated. So I'm going to give you what I said, the most beautiful voice in the forest, but I'm going to put you deep into the forest where no one can see you. And that's where that bird stays.
Got a question for
So
you.
you hear
Rick.
them, but you don't see them.
No body molt.
Nobody knows. Beautiful bird.
So
Just
it
beautiful.
says here that we shouldn't be seeing a CP this time of year, but now, and then this is if you're comfortable, Rick. I'm gonna blow.
Sure, I got my mask on.
That looks like a CP to me.
It's pretty small,
Yeah.
but I would say,
No.
I'd still say unknown
Okay.
on that one.
Okay, leave unknown.
And then 0, so like CP would be 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go back and get that.
I would agree with you, Angie. There's something there. But
Yeah,
it's
but
pretty
it's
small.
small.
Yeah. Look at that bird.
741.
This is one of my favorites just because of its song, and they harmonize with themselves. They actually have a double syrinx, just like the throat singers.
Yeah.
Carolina, right? Yep. CAWR.
That should be it, right, Rob?
I think so. Let me check.
Getting ready to release the wood thrush, who has the most beautiful song in the forest, but has been banished to be seen. You'll hear these very frequently, but you don't see them very
Do
often.
a little banders or photographers while Rob's.
No, they're just like the slipperiest bird that I've ever encountered.
Seems embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
He seems like he's ready to go.
Yeah,
He's
there
still
we go.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
All right, he's ready to go. He's had enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
No more showing.
Ready?
Yes. Be free.
Sometimes they wobble like that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Rob. I forgot to set my timer for the next net run, but it would be.
Hey, Juan.
We went 25, so
yeah.
it'll be
What do you have there?
55.
Real
I have
quick
a
here. You're probably quicker at
Carolina
figuring
wren,
this out than I am.
so
Oh,
really
yeah.
small bird, but very common. It's
Time's
probably one of the
not
most common birds you
coming up
hear in the
right.
forest around here. What did you say, Rick?
Mhm.
Very vocal
It's a-
birds.
Sorry, I was trying to focus on the bird, but it's a setting in Excel for the
They're also the most
Let me see here.
slipperiest bird we kept. They're escape artists.
Landing date.
Is that a baby
station,
Carolina?
Capture time.
Is it a winter?
I'm wondering
it's
if
a
it's
winter
a,
wren
I'm wondering if
now.
it's a winter wren as well. I'm looking at it
Capture time. Look here, if
when I
put
saw
in
the-
0730,
when you brought it
That's a
out.
winter wren.
That's okay, because I
It
was
goes-
like,
and
It
bring
is.
up-
It's a
my-
winter.
My mind said
17,
winter wren when I got up to the
Yeah.
net, but then I could hear a Carolina wren
You know how to
behind me.
fix
Yeah,
it.
that's a winter. That's a winter wren.
This is a good catch.
Yeah,
Winter wren is a good catch.
nice.
Good?
Yeah, not a Carolina.
Look up the
Yeah,
page.
yeah. The stripes are.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
The stripes and the face.
Yeah.
Yours, but I think we're
Mhm.
good now.
Yeah, we'll just work through it.
Nice winter wren.
And the reason we had to like So we had the Bandit program, but it was like not working on my computer for some reason this morning. So maybe that's part of it too.
Yeah, it's just with,
Thanks, Rob.
it's hard to skip around when you have
Yeah.
all those other columns on there.
Yeah.
Rob, you're handy as a pocket knife today.
Hmm?
I said you're handy as a pocket
know.
knife
Wow.
today.
So
Thank
you
you.
were able to gray out the columns that you weren't using, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That'll help too. Make it less confusing for you. Really.
How about these, Angie?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you better ask.
I know.
Angie will box those ears in.
Time to go right again.
Almost.
Right in there.
8:55. Right, Elliot?
What you got there, Elliot?
1 sec.
All right.
8:55. Okay.
I think that's what he
4 more
said.
minutes.
Yeah. So we're just getting ready. I'm making sure I got my timer
For
ready.
the
to go.
alarm's ready to go off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I
okay.
didn't
Thanks.
realize it was still
Your
going.
nerd glasses are still on and they're still shining.
It's funny because you can go like this.
Yeah. All right. All you little girls out there, if you're on there watching, you can aspire one day to have some real
Really
true
nerdy glasses.
nerd glasses like Angie has on
They're
when you get to
really-
be the next conservation
back to
director
zero.
and bird bander at the Tennessee River Gorge Trust.
They're
Every
pretty
time I
cool though
put
because
in
you can
time, it
adjust
goes
this
back to
light
zero.
and these
Oh, see, yeah.
magnifiers so you can really see what you're
Yeah, the
looking
reason
at.
we
Maybe put a coin or a.
Does mess my hair up though.
Oh, it messes your hair up. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, we can't have that.
Yeah.
the way that it
It was a beautiful morning out here. Sun's coming up, shining on the other side of the gorge. This area right over in here is where our bird observatory is, just a little bit down in this area, the lower part, but on the other side of the river. We can't do live streaming out there because we don't have a strong signal to do that with. And we found that it's a little difficult even here to do the live stream with the internet service at the cabin. I was definitely wanting to take you down to the nets and show you what it was like in the nets, but we're just not going to be able to do that. But what a beautiful morning this morning out here. This is just an incredible place. The Trust is an incredible organization. It's been around for 39 years. It'll be our birthday's November the 11th, which is also my birthday, by the way. It's kind of interesting that they coincide, but it's an incredible organization that's done an incredible job protecting these places, over 6,000 acres that we own the deed and the title to on behalf of the community, and then about 9,000 acres that we have agreements with the state of Tennessee and the Tennessee Valley Authority to work and do research and access on, and then we have about 1,200 acres of conservation easements where we don't own the property, but we own certain rights like timber rights, mineral rights, and development rights. But just an incredible organization that we work on your behalf to protect beautiful spaces like this and create great access for you. We do science-based stewardship, which is what we're doing here today, to help inform our decision-making processes about if or when we need to do anything to help maintain the healthy aspect of these beautiful places right here. But it's an incredible place to work, incredible staff to work with, and it got a credible board of directors that support us on a daily basis as well. And I think we're getting close to another net run. Definitely want to get some close-ups of this winter wren.
Okay. Sorry, Elliot. I didn't notice that.
Okay.
And that's winter wren. I keep saying winter wren. That sounds like he wins. The wren won something, but it's winter wren.
I think let's see here. So I just need to copy everything I've done so far.
Mm-hmm. But if it's, I mean,
Share your comments and thoughts with us too as we go along. We love to hear from you.
All these we've done so far have been a 2, right?
no, there was,
fat scores 3.
if you want,
Fat scores 3.
just trying to So since you formatted that sheet, all
Yeah, that's on a scale of 4, correct, Elliot?
Yes, sir.
Once I copy it over,
Yeah, we can show. Well,
Same. Oh, that's true.
I think 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
which one was the
no, it's
one?
7. Sorry.
7, I'm sorry.
4 is fill,
Let me
but
go
we've
back.
never had. We had a bulging wood thrush last year that was
Yeah.
5 or 6. Yeah, you can see each parameter that we're saying has a number score that correlates with it. So like no fat is 0, a trace of fat is 1, light is 2, half is 3.
Yeah.
And each of these, they seem a little subjective, but they're really not as subjective as you think. There's guides and classes, and you start to learn what trace looks like, what light looks like, what half looks like, etc.
Yeah.
It's still a little subjective.
I can't wait to show
Okay.
this bird.
The wood thrush was 1A.
And the
Yeah.
tufted
So
titmouse
no
was
flight feather
1B.
molt, no body molt.
What was the weight on this
Sex
bird?
unknown. 10.9. What was it? One
Sex unknown. What was it? What?
weight.
The weight was 10.8.
10.8
10.8
grams.
grams.
Sex unknown.
Okay.
10.8 grams is about what 3 paper clips
There you
weighs
go.
in your hand,
No molt.
Okay.
which isn't much. This is a tiny little bird.
That is 3.
Okay.
And then gray capper was
30th.
The thrush was what again?
White feather
1B?
warrior.
Feather
the
wing.
thrush was 1A, the tufted titmouse, the 2T
Oh, no.
was 1B,
1B.
Hmm.
and then the gray capper was also 1A. So I'm gonna go on the next
2.
nest.
Okay, I'll get these
Play
cleaned
for
up.
war
while
two?
you're doing
Yeah,
that.
you got it all.
Yeah.
All right. Let's show the bird off.
Yeah. This is not one we catch very often, the winter wren. We catch them, we usually catch a few a year, but it's not a real common one for us in the net.
Uh-oh, I'm in the video.
All right.
All
Let
right,
him
we'll
go.
get ready to release this bird.
Cool.
All right. So they're on the next net run, and let me turn this camera around. We're on I think this is our 3rd net run of the morning, and it'll take them a few minutes to go out and collect birds. And let me check in with Juan and see if we're gonna take a quick break. And we again appreciate all you all for joining in with us and sticking with us as well. So Juan's gonna Some people believe life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I believe life begins the moment you learn to receive the gifts that surround you every day. Gifts that never ask for our attention. Gifts from others that become your truth. Keep those gifts for yourself and the load of the world will press down on you. Exchange your gifts with others and the world will carry the beauty with you. And once you learn to do that, life begins.
Cuando estudiamos la migración de aves, aprendemos mucho sobre sus necesidades y sus habilidades de adaptación al cambio del medio ambiente. Entonces, podemos usar ese conocimiento como una forma de conectar los humanos que comparten estas aves en lugares lejanos. El conocimiento puede crear un intercambio, donde aprendemos que nuestras aves posesivamente son nuestras aves colectivamente. Ese intercambio de información nos puede ayudar a conocernos mejor. Once we understand that we collectively share the natural world, we also begin to know a person or culture without seeing the lines on the landscape. When we do that, we're able to open our minds to each other's beautiful cultures and knowledge. That's what makes us stronger, because that's the moment we begin to see the value that each of us brings to humanity. La Paz, Chattanooga, and the Tennessee River Gorge Trust have partnered together to do exactly this: bring people and communities together by connecting them through science. Some people believe life begins. All right, folks, we are back, and I hear them coming through the woods. They should be coming out momentarily. Y'all got Joy down there?
Carolina wrens and Angie's taking out another unknown bird. I didn't get to see it.
All right, so we got 2 Carolina wrens, and we got another bird still in the net. Here comes Elliot with the Carolina wrens. Nice. These birds are ones that are extremely tricky to hang on to when you get them out of the bag. They have these proportionally humongous legs to their body size that are about as strong as they are proportional. And I describe them as slippery as a wet trout in the hand. They're hard to hold on to.
What was that?
Carolina wren,
Oh,
CAWR.
You want me to capture it on here?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Which band size are we looking at?
We're gonna do. I think it's. They got that big leg. I think it's 1B.
I think it is too.
1B.
You need a guide, or you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Got the one on my phone right here.
Okay.
CAWR.
Yeah. All right, let me know when you're ready for the number. That was right.
1B.
Number?
2741
2741
46227.
46227.
Is that 9-digit number that we talked about?
Let me give these back to Angie.
Kind of like a license plate for a car.
You want to age it first or weigh it first?
I will weigh it first.
Okay. Go out to weight. Capture time 7:30.
He'll crawl up your arm and get out of the bag and
Capture time
Yeah.
for this
Second.
one's 8. You want to call it 9 o'clock?
yeah.
So the tufted titmouse is the Tasmanian devil, and the Carolina wren is the Houdini, the escape artist.
Wait time.
Yeah, you can see on this the difference is small, a larger bird than that winter wren, and that really big, deep stripe on the head is different, and the color's a little bit different. The winter wren's a little grayer, again, much smaller. Beautiful birds. Look at that long bill. Yeah, kind of curved. Beautiful eye stripe.
It's the most common bird that gets in my house.
Yeah.
19.2 grams, Rob.
19.2 grams. Okay.
And that's about the weight of 3 nickels in your hand.
Going back to
I can go
age
whichever
and
whichever
sex?
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go to age then.
Sex is unknown. Age. Let me
Sex unknown.
look at the pile guide and see if we have any other clues.
Okay.
Is it in the pile guide? I think it is.
Yeah, it should be. It should be in troglodyte.
Yeah, troglodyte, yeah.
No page.
I can pull it up here for you if you want me to.
That's all right.
You good?
Yeah. Let's give H-rail. I'll do the last row. We'll do
Okay.
skull.
Yep. Okay, then we go. Okay, bird status comes later. Elliot, what do you call your initials on here?
ESB.
ESB.
What you got?
Ovenbird.
Ovenbird.
I'm gonna do the Carolina
Wing
Red
cord,
first in order.
59. You got the weight. Strat score.
Two.
2. Tail length.
50.
50.
Come right close to your
Sure.
band.
The brood patch.
None.
0.
Are you working at Carolina?
Exuberance,
All right, I got your
0.
page open for you.
Saw that thing.
Skull.
Almost slipped away.
They're very slippery, guys.
Yeah, I described them a minute ago. Slippery,
bird.
slippery as a wet trout.
There's a tray of scaled shrimp. I'll shove that.
Here, this guy. I don't know how it ended up over. I didn't try to steal it, I promise.
There's some right here too.
Oh, the water. Yeah, there should be another one of these
Hey, some
in your kit somewhere. Yeah,
You better ask.
I'll go find it. Rob, you, I got Carolina Wren here.
Right, I still got.
Use the sun light over here.
Okay.
You can wait.
And I come over and
What size is this
So
one?
we're looking at the skull of the bird
One B also.
I think he had
for ossification, so a complete skull growth.
Okay.
Hatch ear.
hatch
Yeah,
ear.
it's got quite a big gap still.
So the skull is not ossified. The plates haven't closed. He's got a big gap. This makes this a bird that was hatched this year.
228.
And what that tells us is that the Carolina wrens in this area have done well enough to raise a bird that's healthy and has good body fats, getting the groceries that it needs out there.
Hatch ear, Rob.
Okay. After hatch, that's what we've been calling it, or
Hatch ear, HY. And through skull is the house, how aged. Yeah, I think that's everything except flight feather wear.
What's the difference
No
between
more.
hatch year and after hatch?
Well, it's in its hatch year, so within this year it was hatched, and after hatch year means it's 1 year old or
Okay.
over 1 year old.
Yeah, after the season has started again, it would be an after hatch year bird.
Okay.
And then some birds we can even go beyond that and get a little bit more deeper, especially with things like woodpeckers on aging. I love those wings, all those colors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Flight feather wear is 1.
Let me go back down
Strange.
here. I started down on the second bird there, so I'm getting exuberant skull. What was the number on the skull?
It's a little gappy.
3.
3. Okay, and flight.
Or sorry,
feather.
sorry.
Got a little uneven somehow there.
You can press it from the
Flight feather wear is 1.
Flight
yeah,
feather.
you're looking
Oh,
better.
Flight feather
Yeah.
molt.
None.
Yeah,
0.
that's looking better. Yeah.
And then I lost flight feather wear somewhere around here. Take the parasites. Nope. What happened to flight feather wear? Oh, when I changed over to the other sheets. I need to put it under where we had errors because we're not using it, right?
Yeah, that'll work great.
Okay.
I think that's it.
You ready to
And
release?
that was a what?
One.
One.
Anything else you need from it?
That's it.
Alright.
Okay, now we'll go back to the other one.
Oh yeah, I'm just working on it. You want age first?
Yeah.
Alright.
Off you go.
So we did that, which is 5, so 20.
Definitely has
Yeah.
some flight feather molt. It's gonna be hard to show the camera, but
Okay.
I'm gonna try. I saw it. See?
Yeah.
You can see where it's molting, where the feather is coming through. I forget what this part's called. The collar of the feather. Wren. Yeah, that's what I thought. Either I bet you this one's a hatch here.
Hatch here?
I'm not quite sure yet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
check.
Check the skull with the nerd
With the
glasses.
nerd glasses on. I don't like this one. It's not easy when you have a ponytail.
Well, did you push the unlock button on those keys right there?
I think it's in here. Yeah, you go on. Yeah.
This Carolina wren was caught in a different net than the one Elliot just worked, I think.
Yep, net one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, see, they are escape artists.
They are. They're the Houdinis of the forest. Yeah.
No, there's not been anywhere in here for me to write down the net number. Should I have been doing that?
No.
Okay.
It's okay.
And they also, just like tufted titmice, they like to complain a lot, but they're okay.
You got a skull size?
Not yet. It's been giving me a hard time.
Actually, I think we should have been writing down the net numbers. We should have been putting that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have not.
Oh.
So maybe we can
this
go
is our
back.
banding station anyways, so
Yeah.
this really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, not as much. From
Unless we start
some
banding.
protocols, that's very important. In this one in particular, maybe it's not so much.
I can recount.
I think we
Which one's
can.
all
It's not that many. I think we can quickly go back and get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I see a window.
See a window?
I think so. See, it's not quite. Yeah.
Yep.
Hatchier, which is what I thought based on the molt situation.
Skull size?
Where's my cheat sheet?
Oh,
I think
let's see.
it's like 3 or
The other one was 4. The other wren.
yeah, 3 or 4. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, I would say 4.
4?
Mhm.
Okay, now skip back here to
So age is after Hatchier, how aged is S. Sex, I think, is going to be unknown.
hatch here.
Certain birds, it's easy to determine sex by plumage, and certain birds, it's not, like the Carolina wren and tufted titmouse and some of the others. So in this case, unless you can look at the cloacal protuberance and determine at certain times of the year a sex on birds like these.
Okay, flight feather wear.
Three? 2.
2.
sorry. Yeah. I think some of that was just from the net.
Wing coordinates. Or wing cord.
He is just determined.
They are hard to hold on to.
$67. Oh,
67.
sorry, wait. He moved. $63.
63. Wait time will be 29:23.
And then 50 for tail.
Hickory nuts are falling out there.
Well, you hadn't waited yet, have you?
About to
Tail
do
length?
it. Yeah,
Mhm.
tail's 50.
Okay.
Weight is 21.3.
I'd wait more than the other one.
Is that a lot more?
Fatter. About 2 grams more.
Okay, that's fine. Just want to make sure I tailored it. Sometimes the bags that can mess you up a little bit.
10% more, so that's pretty.
Let's see if he or she is fatter.
Let's see. Brood patch.
None.
Cloacal protuberance.
None. I got it. Fat. Not yet.
I ain't got there yet. Let me see. White feather molt 0.
Or flight feather molt, yes. And we want a juvenile growth, J.
Coat J.
If it's a hatchier, right? we have
Body
juvenile
molt?
growth. Same. We have body molt, and it should be. It's I would say light too.
2.
Yep.
Angie, you want me to go do a full net run while you band these birds?
Sure. Yeah. You ready for the fat?
Well, I thought it was, but I can't.
Elliot, just shout if you
Going
need
down,
something.
finding more stuff.
You got walkie-talkie?
I have cell phones, so.
Okay, all right.
And Elliot, if you want to start from 6 and move your way back, I can start from 1 and walk towards you too.
I'll keep going just to keep the flow.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I missed. Where's fat? Flight feather where? Fat score.
Fat is 1, and I think that should be it.
That should be it.
All right. So we're gonna release
It's Carolina Wren.
Carolina Wren.
You got the band number right, Rob? We did that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those 2 kingfishers down below us.
Hatchier. Carolina Wren.
Nice. And next is the oven bird,
I'm so excited about this one.
known and named because of its nest. They nest. It's a warbler that nests on the ground.
Yeah, they nest in
Do
these.
they nest here?
Mm-hmm. They do.
Their song is teacher, teacher, teacher.
Teacher, teacher, teacher. Something that we need so much of.
And these guys are really cool because they make nests out of leaves on the ground, and they do look kind of like an oven.
Yeah, they're sort of round and they have a little, almost like a leaf door.
Yep.
That's what makes them seem like the oven.
Yep.
They're sort of, you don't really see the entrance. They just look like a ball of leaves on the ground. They're a really neat bird. I'm excited for you to pull it out.
I know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
These are
That's
one of
the
my
one that's-
favorites.
That scratches around in the leaves like a little mouse when you hear it. They stay up under the underground. Okay, I've seen that.
And it's easy during nesting season if you're walking around the woods, not on a trail, if you're bushwhacking like I do a lot. Sometimes you'll flush them. So you got to be careful in the springtime. I've had one, I've like been about to step down on what I thought was just leaves, and I've had oven birds flying out from underneath my foot, and I realized it was an oven bird's nest.
There you go.
So, oh, that was my net run timer, so
Yeah.
Elliot just left, so that's perfect.
And this is one of those birds where it is There are multiple bands. Again, this is where the leg band gauge can
yeah,
come in
it can
handy.
be a lot of different sizes.
You can
So
see where it's got different sizes. 1C is recommended, and then or 1 to 0.
Yeah, the abbreviation for the oven bird.
oven.
Oven?
Yep.
Yeah, just oven.
And actually, I think 1C isn't a size anymore, right, Rick? Didn't they discontinue that one?
You don't have a 1C on the page here.
Yeah.
We just have
Yeah,
one,
I think you're right.
one
Yeah.
Bravo and one Alpha.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it's stuck in the... Well, I'm just gonna not worry about that.
Did we decide on one Bravo or one Alpha?
Not yet.
Okay.
We
Gotta
got
get it in hand.
Yeah. Well, it might be one,
Don't need to
too.
rush. Okay.
We have one, or one, size 1, and then 1B, 1A.
Yeah, I just have to switch.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Really beautiful bird.
Yeah, can you look at that?
Yeah.
And some of them, and I think you can tell, like, some of them have a more red stripe on the cap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Another one with a very large
Which
eye
I
compared
think-
to the size of the bird. Yeah.
This is going to be, I can tell you right now, is probably going to be a juvenile.
Yeah.
But hatchy or juvenile because it doesn't really have a crown patch. And here we can look in the pile that it's very clear that after hatchy or after second year birds should have an orange crown patch. So, this one probably is hatchier because it wouldn't be juvenile this time of year. But because
we'll walk through it.
we'll
and
walk
see.
through it,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm guessing. So let's figure out what leg or what size this guy's gonna be here. I think 1, yeah.
1?
Yep. So I probably look really cool right now with my mask on, like halfway on, and my...
Juan, could you hold this for just a second for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, that's our first sheet 1, so we have to build it anew. Gotta slow things down a little bit.
Could, oh, I think I got it. So normally, during non-COVID times, we'll have, a helper, and that's what they'll be helping you do is get these bands off, but this is just sort of adapting to this time and having to make some adjustments. Normally we don't do a lot of this walking around the table either, but we're trying to keep 6 feet from each other. You ready for the band number, Rob?
Yeah, let me back up here. This is our first number 1. Okay.
Okay. It's 2 6
2 6
3 1
3 1
1 1
1 1
2 5 7.
2 5 7. Species is oven.
Oven.
Age.
Age, not sure yet. Let's go get this band on it. I'll look at it. I think it might be a hatchier, but
Okay, I'll go clean up the rest of this.
yeah.
While you're doing that.
These guys are so cool. So, I guess Rick, oven birds, what do they eat? They live in the leaves, they live on the ground, they nest on the ground. They come up into the trees to sing.
Yeah.
They eat invertebrates and worms. And,
They would be worms, insectivores. I would say mostly insects on the ground, but then also invertebrates and worms that they scratch from or scratch on the ground to uncover.
So why, I hear a lot about warblers, and then this guy is called an oven bird. So what's the difference? or like this one's a warbler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the Louisiana water thrush is actually a warbler. That's the problem with common names. And we have the Latin names, and we have the ability to use those, but they're a little bit more difficult for folks to learn versus sometimes the common names. But there are birds that are warblers that are not called warblers, and other species the same way.
Exactly.
Again, that's the problem with the common names. I love the common names, and I love the fact that common names are sometimes different from geographic location to geographic location. They have unique names. I know that my grandmother called the yellow-billed cuckoo the rain crow, and she called it the rain crow because it would kind of crow and call after it rained, and sometimes before it rained.
Yeah, these guys are. I think they're so cool because they're a ground nester.
Yeah.
But then definitely with the ground nesting birds, it makes them more vulnerable to predators.
Yeah, things like the chipmunk.
Chipmunk.
Yeah, nobody wants to know that the chipmunk would eat a bird, but it will.
Oh, it will.
And it will eat eggs as well. Everybody, that's one of those moments where people go la 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 la. They don't want to hear it, but
cute but deadly.
yeah, they are very deadly. Quite the little Tasmanian devil themselves. They eat more than acorns and hickory nuts. I've actually caught chipmunks trying to get a bird out of the net on the lower.
Really?
Yeah. When I walked up, they were approaching the net.
Yeah. That's pale brown on the
She's looking
outer primary coverts for sure, and the fact that it doesn't have much of an orange crown makes me really think that it's a
Yeah.
And it should still have a window this time of year too, so I'm gonna check that.
Yeah, each cluster of feathers on the bird's wings has a name, and primary coverts is what she was looking at. The outer primary coverts is what she was looking at, and looking at the color of those.
You'll call it a hatchery with plumage, and then
She's going to check that window real quick. Yeah.
Definitely see a window.
Yeah. You do see a window?
Down at the bottom there.
Yep.
Okay.
Hatch year by plumage.
And that's good to know. That means we've got a young bird of the year that's still surviving, and it's going to be October tomorrow, and that means you have productivity, which means that we're providing something that's working to create an environment that is productive for these birds.
That's true, and that's really good. That
it is good.
That this is a young bird that was hatched this year in this forest in a nest, and it is now ready to go to South America or Central America.
Sex?
Unknown. Right? Yeah.
Or, as we were saying earlier, possibly could be a bird from somewhere else that's coming through on its migration. There is the possibility of that as well. It's just good to see the young hatchier birds.
Oh, getting dizzy there. Sometimes they have tracts of feathers that get in the way of seeing their furricular hollows. You have to like blow extra hard.
White feather wear. Are you still? Oh, you're still doing that.
Flight feather wear is there one.
One capture time. We're calling what?
8:30.
9:30
or 8:55. What are you ready for next?
Wing cord.
$71.
One weight.
I do tail. Just 'cause I have it.
Tail length.
50.
50. Kelly was telling me this sheet came from the organization, so you can't really change it.
It's annoying. Sorry, Rob.
What?
That the sheet is bugging you.
Well, it's just so much different than the
I
other
know.
one.
Oh, and also, I wanted to show y'all that Carolina Wren from earlier, it projectile pooped on me. Well, I've had birds poop on me. I've never had a it was just, you okay, buddy? It was just a full-on, like a squirt from the net to me, like while I was about to take it out. That was amazing. $18.9. So they're very small, these guys there.
That score.
I already checked that, and it is almost not a lot of fat. I would say 1 for trace.
So that bird could be a migrant that's
Mm-hmm.
burning fat as it's going
Yeah.
south,
Root
and it's
fat.
stopped here for a rest over. Rest over means that it's on its way. Could be that it's on its way south, and that the bird is.
Did you give a score on the skull?
2/3, 4.
4.
Yeah. I'm getting ready. I should let
Yeah.
him go. He's getting a little winky.
Yeah,
You need anything else, Rob?
Nope, I think
Okay.
that's got it.
yeah. This bird could be on its.
Oh,
its
white
trips.
feather mole. Yeah.
Flight feather mole. I don't see any. None. So yeah, one of my favorite birds of the summer, and he or she is probably going to Central America. So we gotta let them go so that they can fatten up and get ready. Hopefully, our measurements, it didn't take too long, and they can go back into the woods and eat some more invertebrates and get
Yeah.
fattened up.
Yeah, they call that stopover. On there, if maybe that bird came from another place, Kentucky, Ohio, somewhere else.
That's what I
And-
think.
yeah.
Based on the amount of fat it has.
Yeah, and then it may have burnt some of its fat in its process. It'll stop and try to pick up and find bushes that have berries, or not that bird in particular. Some would. It's not necessarily a berry eater, seed eater, as much as it would be a insect eater. It'll stop and fatten up here, and then continue on its journey. And that's part of why we have all this habitat, so that they have places to stop and get some groceries and keep on moving. You got birds, Elliot?
I do. Winter wren and a Carolina wren.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
You do one of these?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know which is which.
Yeah. We'll just.
I hope you got the Carolina wren. I got the winter.
Of course.
I'll let you go back to scribing one. We'll move over and see what Elliot has.
And I guess, the Carolina wrens are just as cool as the warblers, but I think we just get excited about the warblers.
Yeah.
Because they come through, they're migrants.
Yeah.
I got the Carolina wren. You got
Sorry,
the winter wren.
Elliot.
No, I gotta ban the last one. I'm
The
just
winter
messing
wrens
with
are
you.
really cool too, though, because they're migrants. They're coming in for the winter. Or they're coming through. Do they stay here for the winter?
Some do,
Some
yeah.
do. I've definitely heard them in the winter here. I think of winter wrens, I think of like being out in California, in like the redwoods.
Okay.
Forest.
What was that last bit? Was it a 0A one?
They are all year round.
Northern Palm? The winter wren.
Hop it around.
Winter
For
wren?
Angie's some of the bands.
Yeah, winter wren 0.
Okay.
It's just like really. I don't know if I've ever been.
And the Carolina wren's 1B. One, can you confirm
What's
that?
this one you have?
This one's a
We
winter
put it
wren.
at
Winter
I
wren.
think it's
2
Was it
last
two?
time.
It was 2 then.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna double check on
I don't know.
So
Check
1B, I think, for
I
the
think 1B for
Carolina.
Carolina wren.
Yeah, Carolina, I think's pretty sure
It's
is a
Cardinal.
1B.
It's the Northern Cardinal one. CAWR.
CW.
No, check the band. It's 1B band size.
1B.
Carolina Wren is 1B. I just confirmed it.
Oh, yeah. 1B.
Is it it might be that sheet over there.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh yeah, sorry, that was just using the is a cheat sheet. You should have back.
It's getting colder.
It is getting cooler. What happened to that?
I don't know.
Feels nice in the meadow out in the
You
sun.
say
Yeah.
1B for this looks
I
small.
think this one's gonna be a 0,
Yeah.
but I'm double checking.
1B for this
Okay.
one I have, Rob, and then 0 for hers.
Oh, okay. One's getting yours, right?
Yeah, one's
Yeah.
okay. 6. Or sorry, no, wait. 2, 7, 4, 1, 4, 6, 2, 2, 9.
2741 46229.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
It's gonna be 0A to 0 for this fan. A little guy.
0?
I'm gonna check. It's either 0A or 0, but
We don't have 0A.
Yeah, we just have
Oh,
0,
yeah.
Angie. We used 0 on the last one.
yeah.
So WI, WR.
Yep, Y works.
Well, here's a 0A if you think if it's a
It's
better fit,
not.
but we had 0 for
Yeah.
the last one we were in.
Okay, band number.
Kingfishers are going nuts.
I know,
They
I was
are.
hoping we were going to catch one.
They're always rowdy right here. The kingfishers, like they're just fussing
Good
and
to
fighting.
remember.
There they go,
Speaking
right
of.
there.
Oh,
Yeah, it's maybe they got territories that overlap and they just fight
Oh.
all day.
It's been over this. Rick, did you put that over there?
What's that?
A 0?
I did.
Oh, no,
Elliot
that's
did.
really nice of you. I
Yeah.
just like walked over. I didn't even see it.
19.8 grams.
Oh, of course this one's tied on. I'm gonna do the weight real quick, Rob, so that I can
Just going for its
get
escape.
that off. Since
I got it all
You
backwards.
got it backwards.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me move out.
I have lost more of those in the hand, escaping from the hand than any other bird.
Wait time.
Show those legs in comparison to that body.
Yeah.
They're just huge.
I mean, like a bird of this weight would usually take up 2 sizes down.
Yeah.
Size down.
Great big legs for a little tiny bird.
They're strong too.
Mm-hmm.
Sex unknown.
Picture time for this one. We call it
Fat is 2.
0940.
Yeah.
It's got body molt too.
Yeah. Okay. Trees. Ready when you are.
10.8, is that right?
Should be. Yeah, it'd be about right for
Yeah.
a winter wren. They're pretty light.
Okay.
Yeah,
Was it? 10.8.
they're pretty lightweight birds.
Okay.
That's about what, 3 paper clips in the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the weight of about 3 paper clips.
Maybe a little less, because that's what we.
Yeah.
Alright, now I'm ready to give you band, Rob.
61.
Okay, I'm gonna move back to there. Band number.
2750
Yeah, just found out that
750
56
56
8
8
0 0.
00.
Thank you.
so I just found out that Noel from
Yes.
Elliot, I just found out that Noel from Guatemala and the Pretend Birders Association is following us and watching. So say hello to Noel.
Hey Noel, saludos.
And then Juan. Yeah.
Saludos.
Saludos.
Hola.
Noel is, and the Pretend Birders Association is a partner of ours down in the Petén region of Guatemala. You may have seen some of that on the Intercambio video that we did earlier. So good morning to you, Noel, and any other folks that you have with the Pretend Birders Association watching. Good morning.
Symmetric.
I think that's kind of the beauty of this live stream. It said
Anybody can tune in.
anybody can tune in from
I was trying to
anywhere.
get one of my friends, who's also a fellow bird nerd and scientist out in Portland, Oregon, to tune in. He was like, "You realize that 7 a.m. is 4 o'clock here?" I was like, "You should just tune in," because he's always my friend Matt from college. He during the spring migration, he was mad at me because I posted something on Instagram about all the birds I had seen and heard one morning, and he told me he wanted me to just go out there and record it for him.
All right.
So I said,
Carolina wren.
because we get to experience migration.
Noel, I don't think this one's gonna come to y'all.
The warblers and everything, because we don't have as many out there. Warblers, at least, out west.
Sorry, I had to break away, Angie. We were doing a release.
Oh, I was just telling Rob.
Yeah.
One of my friends who loves the birds. All right, so we've got.
You ready? What are you doing now?
What do you need, Rob?
Are you
Age?
You ready to age? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, what is that?
That is a little bitty bird.
We'll get some close-ups of this winter wren whenever you get it worked.
So, Elliot, when you were aging the winter wren, what did you use? Were you looking for molt limits and skull and?
Do you have it on the winter wren page?
Yeah. I was just saying if there's anything that you saw that was like super distinct that you.
No, I looked at skull though.
Yeah. I'll do that too.
Yeah, you should be able to tell from it.
So Noel says saludos, you all.
This is such a little bird.
Yeah, it happens. One each.
Oh, I'm fogging up my glasses.
5 minutes to the
Okay.
be the second from last net run.
Wow.
It goes by fast when you're catching birds.
I know.
We're going till 10 or 10:30.
10:30. We can change it up. It would be we would go set them, check them at 55, come back, and then at 25, go back out and check and close.
Okay.
I'm gonna get this light to function for me.
Starting to get some incredible sunlight too. If you
Yeah.
move just a little bit, you may hit it right here, right in there. You get that sunlight, makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, there's that window.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Makes a difference quick.
It does. All right, Rob. So hatchy or by skull?
That's your bus call. Sex.
Unknown.
Unknown. White feather wear.
Let's say 1. 2. Sorry, I see some
2.
abrasion there. 2.
2. Wing cord. It's an osprey.
Yeah.
Take one another phone.
Wing cord is 51.
51.
Tail. It's such a little tail.
Okay.
Fat was 2.
Fat was 2.
Tail length is 37.
37. Short tail.
Little short tail. Really pretty with some barring. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brood patch.
None.
None.
No CP.
No CP.
And
Skull. Size.
4.
4.
I thought I saw some flight feather molt, but I don't see any.
No flight feather molt.
No, no body molt.
No body molt. No.
Is that it?
Like the parasites. Now let me go back to everything.
You want to put it in the photographer's grip and see if we can get a good look at it. It's just a beautiful bird. Of course, its hair has been washed just a little bit.
Yeah, its tail is wants to.
They're just such tiny little beauties. See if I can get in close to
Yeah.
for you to be able to see some of that detail. Yeah.
And their song is amazing.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Winter Wren song. It's this long, like, kind of chaotic, just beautiful. It's almost like a music box that's just gone wrong. Go on.
It's thinking about it.
Yeah.
You get a picture of it, Andrew?
Yeah. It's rare that they do this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And there it goes.
Awesome.
Sitting up in the tree.
Save. And it tells me one or more cells in this workbook contain a formula that has spilled or may spill in the future.
I would save it anyway, and then we can go straight from without closing. A lot of time we're closing any windows, go straight to bandit coverage. So.
All right. So we've worked all the birds from that net run. If you got another net run coming, Ellie,
1 minute. Yep.
1 minute. Got another net run coming in 1 minute. And again, really appreciate everybody that's tuning in, and just the fact that we've got people from all over the country and outside our country that are tuning in is an incredible thing for all of us. Just using birds to connect to human beings in different places is a wonderful thing. Again, this organization has been around for almost 40 years, and it's through the strength of having good boards of directors, and I think some of our board members are even joining us here today. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate all of you all that are out there that support us every day. It does take your support. It takes support from the community, and we truly appreciate everything that you do for us throughout the year. And we look forward to continuing this coverage this morning. We're going to take a short break here in just a minute while they go out and run the nets. And then we'll be back again. We're going to do this a few more times and we'll wrap up for the day. It's been a wonderful morning so far, and you never know. We could have them bomb in on this next run and get some really neat and unique stuff, or we may come back with not much. That's the beauty of bird banding. And again, we're live, and you never know what we're going to come up with. So thanks again for joining us. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a few minutes after they make this run, and hopefully got something more to report. Thanks a lot.
So that wasn't live.
Well, it's live. It's just not feeding anywhere. Yeah. Oh, it's live now.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. I am live now. Elliot's on his way back. Took a little while, but he's got some birds. Got two, Elliot. You got any good surprises?
No, the regular titmouse and the Carolina red.
Oh well, that's good birds.
That's awesome.
There's an exciting moment. The Carolina wren flew into the net as the titmouse was whining
Oh my
right by
gosh.
me, and then there was a deer that was in the net lane with me.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my
It was
god.
like literally 7 yards from me, just staring at me while I was taking the bird out, and
Were
I
you
paused
scared?
forever. No, I was just trying to get a video. I didn't want to scare the deer into the net.
Yeah, because then we'd have one less.
Yeah. So you're gonna take one, Angie, and Elliot's gonna take one.
We get Andy the titmouse.
Oh yeah, Angie gets the tufted titmouse.
I don't know which is which actually.
Yes,
I really
you
don't-
do.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the titmouse.
Oh yeah, like we didn't know that. Yeah. Uh-huh. So we're gonna stay with Angie to watch her get the titmouse out of the bag. It's kind of like reaching your hand into a bag that has a chainsaw that's running. You just gotta dive on in and just get it. Yeah.
I'm gonna get the pile up to the tip. I forgot the. Oh, it's here. It is.
B.
2T.
What is it? MB? Carolina Wren, CAWR.
Yeah, it's on the.
All right, Rob.
So you ready? Here we go.
I'm ready. Are we
Here we
looking
go.
for
You ready, Angie?
looking at 1B?
You want me to go in there and get it?
She's got a different size. She's got a different size than me. I'm on 1B with this bird, and then
Tufted titmouse is 1B2.
Yeah, it's 1B.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The last one.
that's what I thought. I thought it was
Oh.
one of those.
Yeah, here we go. Oh,
It's just they like we don't like. Oh,
this one's a little quieter.
yeah. But they're not as big of a drama queen. This one isn't, but.
But it means it may have something else more in store for you.
So Elliot and I are both a little bit traumatized by the tufted titmice because a long time ago, back when I was just volunteering for the trust, Elliot and I were doing fall banding over at the banding lab. It was one of those weird, I think it was September, one of those weird September thunderstorms, you know, that we get here, like last week.
Yeah.
And it was coming in, we could hear the thunder, we could feel the rain on our faces, and there were like literally 5 tufted titmice, like a whole family in the net, and they were all super tangled. They had grabbed the net. They were pecking at each other in the net. Like one of them was pecking the other guy's eye, and Elliot and I were like racing to get them out. And then as we were getting these out, and the thunder is going in the background, and it's starting to rain on us, more tufted titmice started flying in. Like literally one flew by my head and into the net because these guys.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
Is that your bird?
That's the Carolina Wren.
The Carolina Wren got away, but it went in the cabin. So
Well, yeah. So lots of fun things happen when you're bird banding,
yeah.
especially when it comes to tufted titmice and Carolina Wrens, because they're just crazy. So yeah, Elliot and I have a lot of shared past experience with tufted titmice.
Yeah, I've had the same thing kind of happen with the tufted titmice sort of mobbing your net, and it becomes a really tough
It becomes
problem.
a problem because then once they start crying, all the other family members will come, and then they'll just fly into the net, and then they fight with each other in the net, so they can. They're a bigger danger to each other than
They'll
you.
need to be more friendly.
Yeah. So everyone always says, "Well, they're so cute." And they are, but
Here, do you want me to spread that?
oh my
Or you
god.
got it?
Yeah, thanks, though, Rob.
I think Elliot and Juan are in the house trying to catch the bird.
Oh my
I had a
god.
hummingbird in the house last week's first
Really?
hummingbird I've ever had in the house.
They'll
That's
do
cool.
it.
Yeah, they will. I had one time when I was on a youth corps when I was younger, and there one got in the van of the. I had to like go get it out. Everyone was freaking out.
I couldn't get it to go out. I had to get a little fish net and catch it.
Yeah, they're hard to catch.
Well, Elliot, now, as we were talking about earlier, the Carolina Wrens are so easy to slip out of your hands, and he
They're
lost that
slippery.
one, but the bird flew out of his hand and straight into the cabin, which was kind of unusual. It had all this open space around it, but it chose the cabin to go in. So they're in the house catching the bird right now. I think he's got it. Houdini is back. He's got him.
That was lucky.
You guys got it?
He got it. He got it back. Yeah.
Okay, Rob, are you ready for the tufted titmouse fan?
That was funny.
Tufted titmice.
He thought he got away.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 2741.
We were just talking about how these birds are escape artists.
Oh, yeah.
46231.
Just did that move where I
Okay.
was feeling for it and just ran right up my
Uh-huh.
leg and
What do you
out.
want to wait first?
You got that? We got that band number down, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's putting the band on again.
Yeah, this is a fun
Or not again, but on this one. That bird looks a little bit tired from all the flying it just did.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait real quick.
Yeah,
and
we
get
probably
this
want to work it quick and get it off and out.
Yeah.
Got a little bit exhausted from its little escape trick that it pulled.
thing. 18.7. You got it.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and pull minimum data on that one and let it go.
But it might escape again right now.
Battery running low.
We got a charger and an extension cord.
Is that your battery running low, Rob, or the computer's battery
Same
running?
time.
Both at the same
Both
time?
ran out at the same time.
Yeah,
I yawned and the battery ran out.
yeah.
You got an extension cord?
There is an
It's in that
extension cord
bin, the
in there,
first
yeah.
bin, and you can see it's yellow.
There
sitting
should be
on
a
top.
receptacle right there on the wall too.
Okay.
Yeah,
the wing
just get you
cord.
some minimal data and
Deuce age and sex unknown. Okay.
I think I see a volt limit here, right?
Wing cord 59.
Doesn't that those outer coverts look a lot fresher and darker than the inner?
they do to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
the outer, the dark side. Yeah.
Mhm.
Power cord
This says that the
for the computer.
hatch year molt limits, they'll have the
Fresh and dark.
retained-
Yes.
Well, it says retained outer coverts tinge brownish and warm. That's just kind of the opposite of what we're seeing, contrasting with the grayer and fresher replaced inner. That's weird.
Okay.
That is half.
Which is that it's like the opposite of what we're seing, but I definitely see a difference there between the two. Don't you?
Yeah, I see a difference.
So, and then the after hatch year, greater coverts, primary and secondary uniformly adult. So
Yeah, symmetric. Wow.
I don't know. I'll skull it.
Anything else?
I mean, I can very clearly see these. These look like they've just been replaced. Even the primaries.
Yeah, they're
too.
very clean. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I
You
mean,
ready to release Elliot?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna walk over with Elliot. We're gonna let this bird go.
It's
We
doing way
worked it.
better now. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it was just a little tired from all its running.
Sometimes I doubt this one will, but Carolina wrens usually won't. If you hold them upside down in your hand, they'll sit there for a second. I have a feeling this bird's going to go immediately.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, there it went. And it's all good. Standing on the side of the tree. Kind of perched on the side of the tree in the vines there.
They're acrobats. Really, it's fun to watch them in the trees. you know,
Yeah.
hang upside down.
Yeah.
Every which way.
And coming back to Angie.
it's just
Not happy about getting his hair
hard
washed.
times
right?
over here in titmouse world. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's definitely saw a molt limit for sure, but I just want to skull it at least since it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, there's a window.
Got a window?
Yeah,
Hatch here.
yeah. And then you can put 4 for skull. Wing cord next.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get used to the new order here.
Well, that's not, that's skull's way down on the end.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
You
gotta go
tell
chase
me
the
what you
skull
need.
down.
Just gonna start looking at him.
Okay, age and sex and location number, capture time. We're gonna say 10:05 or 10:10.
Yeah.
Wing cord.
Oh, come on.
Drama queen.
Time for the last net run.
Time for the last net run.
Thanks, Rick. Wing cord is 76.
76. White feather wear.
You want to just go hit them, Elliot?
Yeah. Maybe you want me to start at 1 and just come meet me? Or?
Yeah, I can do that. Flight feather wear is 1, tail. 63.
63. Fat 4.
2.
Okay. Back up to weight.
And I don't have, I have no body molt and no flight feather molt. So I know that's out of order, but no CP, no VP. Oh, why did I just do that? Did that wrong.
Oh, you got to reach in again. Oh, yeah.
I'm doing the reverse grip. Sort of. I know there are people that do the reverse grip.
Yeah.
Dottie just commented that you could see in the side view us grabbing the ring out of the bin.
Oh, really?
So flight feather molt was 0, body molt was 0.
Yep. No, and no CP, no BP. Ow. Just fighting me on the way out. And you're ready for weight, Rob?
Yep.
20 grams even?
20 grams even.
And you need anything else?
I think that, let me check to be sure. I think that does it.
Well, he wants it to get out real bad.
So, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
What
Talk to us.
saying?
Tell us all about it.
Yep, bite me.
That's
Oh my god.
Oh,
Ow,
yeah.
that
There we
hurt.
go.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Let's get really
Right in
close
the
in
hangnail.
on that
Oh, that
one.
hurts really bad.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah.
That's everything.
Okay, now you just won't let go.
No.
Ah!
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Okay, I'm glad to let this one go.
Do we need to bleep anything? No.
I don't think we need to bleep anything. Hopefully not.
All right.
Ooh, ow, I think I'm bleeding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they drew a little blood there. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go meet up with Elliot and finish our last net run.
Okay, this is the last net run coming up. Let me get the camera turned around. Last net run is coming up. And again, we really appreciate everybody joining us. I think we've had a good crowd this morning. You know, again, it's live. We apologize for the glitch this morning, but we got it all ironed out, and it's been a good show from there on out. We appreciate all you all, and we appreciate everything you do for us throughout the year. And look forward to doing more events like this. I think we're definitely learning through all of this adjustment period with the COVID crisis that these kind of events are actually a good way of reaching people that we couldn't have reached otherwise. We do have some, during normal times, we do have some events where we're able to let people come out and be up close and personal. We can't do that right now, but this is a way to do that and continue to let you see our work in stewardship, all that science-based informed decision-making that comes from this kind of stewardship work. and we want to keep doing this. I think we're going to be doing some hybrid events in the future once things open up a little bit more, where we can let people come out and join us. We'd love to have you come out and join us at the right time. And I think we're going to continue doing these kind of things. So we've got one more net run coming, and then we'll wrap up for the day. So we're going to take a little break. You all can take a little break, and then we'll be back in a few with hopefully some more birds, and maybe we'll get something really unusual this time. Okay, I think we're live again, and Elliot is back, and we got a new bird this time. I better get my mask back on and turn it around here for Elliot. And what do you got in there, Elliot?
We have a brown thrasher. So we haven't caught one of those today. They're a lot larger than any of the birds we've caught today.
That's a beautiful bird too. What is unique about the brown thrasher?
It is, I think you're talking about, is it how it mocks other birds'
Yeah,
calls?
it's a
Yeah, so
mimic.
it's a mimic bird, so it'll make the sounds of other species, like just
Yeah.
like a mockingbird does. And they're just visually impressive too.
Yeah.
We'll see in 1 second.
And which of the states is it? The state?
Oh
bird?
yeah, that's right. It is the state bird of Georgia. So
Oh,
if anybody
yeah.
from Georgia's watching.
Anybody from Georgia's watching, we're going to be showing the state bird of Georgia here in just a second. This is another one that's on the ground that scratches around like a chicken a lot. And its mimic, if I'm remembering correctly, it usually mimics 2 times. I think that's correct, whereas the mockingbird mimics usually 4 times, 3 to 4 times. Catbird is a mimic, and it mimics like 1 time and then switches the song. I may be getting that mixed up, but this is the way you can tell the difference between them being a mimic bird or not, which bird it is. I think the brown thrasher is a 2-time mimic, and then the catbird is a 1-time mimic, and then the mockingbird a 3 to 4-time mimic. I've heard other birds do some mimics too, though. You know, I've heard crows do mimics occasionally. Oh yeah, nice bird. You're gonna get that beautiful eye here in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's get this over in the sun so everybody can see this really good. This is a gorgeous bird. I can understand why Georgia picked it as their state bird.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. This beautiful yellow eye. The whiskers. Can you see? Hold that back up. I think we can see the whiskers
Yeah.
on that bird. Yeah.
Super long tail.
Yeah. Big legs. Looks a little like a mockingbird from a body shape size. If you were just silhouetting that bird black and white,
Yeah.
you might think that it was a mockingbird. They're very, very similar in their body structure. Just definitely different when it comes to plumage and color.
Fat is filled. It's full.
So it's getting a lot of good groceries. Getting ready for winter.
He handles little bitty birds, 20-gram birds all morning, and you get one of these, you forget how powerful they can be.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see if I can get this in on the wing.
The coverts are beautiful, those white tips. 97 one for wing cord. Sex unknown.
It's going to have a long tail. Is that ruler going to be enough?
It will, just barely. 116. One good thing about these larger birds is they're actually easier to handle than the smaller birds.
Yeah.
$70.3.
70.3. That's a stark difference between 10.8 on a
Winter wren.
winter wren and 70. So it's 7 times the size of the winter wren.
Alright, no body molt. No flight feather molt. There's a bolt limit in the greater coverts. Yeah. You can see the limit in there. Look at the difference between the tips of these feathers.
Yeah, the big white tips versus the more buff colored tips.
And even in that, but among those coverts, you can see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basic, juvenile, mixed.
Let me look at the pile guide for that one, or we can let him go and let's see which one it is. Cool. All right.
And the
What else
age?
do you need? The age. Can you use the eye to age these?
Yeah, I think you can.
You know what family thrashers are in, Rick? I don't remember. Top of my head.
It's gonna be. These are down here. Go flip one over. It's not. It's
Sage thrasher, brown thrasher.
yeah.
Page 411. Oh, actually, let me see if it's not a real pile guide. The tabular pile guide is. What is it? There we go.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah, I got it right here.
Here it is too, right there.
Cool, thank you. Color of iris, yellow to yellowish orange for after hatch year after second year, brownish to grayish yellow for hatch year second year, juvenile gray to grayish olive.
It's gonna be.
So it's a after hatch year one by. See, look at the top for a code for iris or how age.
I.E.
Yep. You got it. And is that all you need?
Yeah.
Let's get a
Alright,
bander's
yeah.
grip on that bird and do a release. You got band number and everything recorded.
Yes, sir.
All right. Those are beautiful birds.
Probably seen a brown thrasher up close before.
Yep.
But look at that eye. Isn't that cool?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Here comes the release.
Last bird of the day.
Last bird.
Juan, you mind taking a video? Oh, it's storage is full. All right.
Well, that was quick.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I enjoyed it, guys. I think I'm gonna head on out.
All right, Rob. Thanks a lot
Yeah,
for
thank you,
everything.
Rob.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a knuckle bump in there. Yeah. Appreciate everything you do for us,
Yeah, that
Rob.
was a huge help.
Yeah.
Tell Angie I said bye.
And
I will. We'll let you know about next when we band probably in
Okay.
2 weeks at the Bird Observatory.
Okay.
I think Angie is wrapping up taking down some nets on the backside of the net lanes, And again, just to wrap it up, we really appreciate everybody joining us. This is fun. It's fun to have you all there. We really appreciate all the comments. I was looking through them during one of the breaks, and I really appreciate all the comments and all the questions. I hope we covered everything. We love what we do. We're out here doing it every day. We appreciate you all every day as well. And if you enjoyed this and you feel compelled to support us, go to our website, www.trgt.org. We appreciate anything you can do for us to help us throughout the year. And look forward to doing this again and having you all chime in or tune in to us and share your comments and thoughts. Thank you very much again for joining us, and we look forward to it next time. See you guys.